Like the two players that come to mind is like Lant, who doesn't really show up to a lot of online tournaments, and Mustache Vizlet, who does actually. Um, and they play a very interesting team comp with the Teddy Tager. Teddy Adachi is an entirely different breed of Teddy team, I am sure. And I have played against Triple Traveler quite a bit, but I usually play against them with the Teddy Elizabeth. And it's interesting that you to point out that they did go 3-2 in the ratio format because Adachi was just straight up banned there. So considering the better power level of the character, that might be the thing that inches out their victory here, but we'll see here in this game one.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, it's so interesting, too, just to see the power level of all four characters on screen, right? Teddy, definitely, like you mentioned, lesser represented, and, you know, just kind of a tricky character. Adachi, one of the best characters, but then we got the Ragna and Kanji, but right now, Pixel's got the first interaction, but a quick burst to get out of there.
Yeah, and the 6 people getting out raw dead spikes on their block there, trying to keep up the aggression there with the assist here. Another dead spike there, but did not respect the toy in the back. Chris is Traveler going to be getting a conversion here.
Goes for the low this time, but just gets a soft knockdown there. That the chair's doing a lot of work too, and just trying to call out a lot of the zoning pressure and blowing through things. So that might be one saving grace for Renix there. But right now, having some trouble trying to pin down this Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy can be quite a difficult character to have to pin down. He has a surprisingly good mobility and a lot of screen pollution too, so it can be very difficult for people to have to deal with, especially with that cross-up hit. Has that 2 bars on deck. Kanji is a 20k health character, so not going to opt for the kill, but there he is.
A good utilization of saving that meter, going for the reset, getting the kill, but now Renix is forced to kind of play this 2v1 game, get a resonance really early, just try to get some life back, but right now that hit confirm is able to take it. The Pixel on game 1 taking it.
Yes, and this is a kind of a surprising game style coming out from Renix. Looking pretty uncomfortable with the Teddy matchup. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, not a lot of Teddy representation, and that really, I think, hurts you if you don't have that experience, because Teddy is one of the most bizarre characters in terms of game styles or gameplay styles in BBTAG, mostly just because he has that item toss feature that forces you to be very cognizant of what he has on deck, because every single item does something entirely different, and what is on screen directly affects what you need to do in order to counterplay it. And if you're not familiar with that matchup, it can be very overwhelming to have to deal with, especially with all the different styles Teddy tend to bring to the table.
Absolutely, yeah, and with that item too, it is a set rotation, right? It always cycles the same items through, but it's just another thing to keep your eye on, and if you're looking down there, you're not ready for the Teddy teleport at times, and right now, Pixel's getting this first interaction, setting up some pressure here, but looks like Renix is able to escape pretty relatively free, just playing back this neutral and trying to find an 8-way in.
Just trying to get something dabbed in there with the raw JCs, but some pretty nice defensive play from Pistol Traveler. Going to be allowing him to get that EX bear script. That is plus, so just going to DP out of the scenario and return back to neutral.
Get on, and Renix finally getting some cash spent there and going. We've seen a couple different weird interactions on trying to just get pressure going. You saw the JC, we saw Dead Spike earlier, that DP unblockable is a good setup, but Pixel's still alive, just trying to find a way out to survive this Ragnar pressure.
Yeah, and the Teddy's looking really low. Interesting to note, they're pretty much all red health. So Pixel Traveler is so inclined. He can get out of the situation, maybe to restore some health. I don't know where that 6P going in here, and I can't believe Teddy's still alive. And yeah, I did not find the right time to get him out, and he will be paying for it.
Pixel Traveler not ready for the DP setup, and now we go for the reset and command grab. It does land this time, and right now Renix is starting to look really good here in this game too, setting him up this corner pressure.
Pops a cross combo here, and just opts to go for the DBD to restore a good chunk of health. Put Pixel Traveler in the one-touch scenario too, but just getting quickly push blocked out. Solo Adachi can make quite good comebacks here with his very respectable damage output, but not when you get sniped out like that. Renix taking game 2.
Yeah, of course, the AZO, BZOs, and all the disjoints available for Adachi, just not quite enough. One of the challenges in just trying to come back there is just the sheer life lead. Even with Resonance level 4, right, you can do damage, you're gaining meter fast, Astral's an option, but it's going to take a little bit to get through that Ragna initially, and then by that point, you're probably out of Resonance, and maybe it's tier diff at that point, but Rhynex tying it up, 1 game apiece.
Yep, and interesting thing to note, Pixel Traveler is playing very Teddy focused that game, almost to his detriment there, as he had a good opportunity to swap him out, but opted not to, which kind of exemplifies something that you always got to be careful about in this game, which is maintaining your 2v2 or 2v1 advantage for as long as possible. Even though Teddy has been the star of the show, you always want to maintain his life total here, because I think that's what's giving Renix the biggest issue here.
But right now we're getting a happy birthday. Good conversion here too by Pixel Traveler. And just going for the air reset, but Renix able to navigate the neutral and find the dive this time.
Yeah, goes in for the dive again, putting Teddy in that one-touch scenario again as well, but goes straight out of it with the EX Bear Skew. Imagining there's going to be a swap here. Yeah, able to get him out this time. A little bit of risky swapping him back in, but you know what? There is going to be a good amount of payoff here as they will be putting Kanji in, or sorry, Ragna in the red health zone. Once again, Pixel Traveler got to be very careful.
Yeah, there's a dead Ragna just off the DP follow-up there. And Renix in a little bit of trouble here. Low life. Forced to spend the resonance just to avoid any sort of mix. Pixel Traveler maintaining his corner pressure, though. And now you just kind of gotta guess. Command grab coming in, but no assist to call out, so still living.
Swaps back over into the Teddy. This is incredibly risky here, but the toy will be able to kind of save him here. Not quite a confirm there. Wakes up with the super and doesn't get punished by the barrel there. I actually thought there was going to be there. That was actually a very smart, like, push them out of the barrel in order to get the grab, but it was a good tech as well. Renix's defense has been excellent so far, keeping him in this really disadvantaged situation.
Police trying to make every little bit work, but yeah, just the jump A, the toe taps, able to close it out. Pixel Traveler going up 2-1. You know, we were talking about Teddy being a very bizarre character. Not a lot of people play him. There's unfamiliarity. He's got so much stuff to throw out on screen, but Renix is really hanging in there and trying to answer back with some pretty wild options of their own. You know, they're letting DP rip multiple times. Hey, and if it works the first time, it'll work the second. I'm going to make you figure out an answer to it. We see dive multiple times in the corner. So it's really good to see Redix try to use all those options. But right now, Pixel Traveler one game away from taking the set.
Yeah, you know, I think a very key characteristics of Renix gameplay, as you've kind of pointed out, is some of his crazier options here. The man's, quite frankly, doesn't really care about a lot of your options, which can pay out in a good amount of scenarios. We saw that in kind of the middle point of the third game and a lot in the second game here, but we'll see how he adapts here in this game 5.
You find the hit on the assist into the cross combo and a confirm. Oh, but an early drop, unfortunate. Renix still able to escape relatively free, though, and Teddy already down to half life here. Pixel in a little bit of trouble, gotta find a way to safely get out.
Yeah, swaps back into the Adachi, preserving Teddy's life pool quite a bit, but constantly gets smacked around by all of these assists. Text forward does not block the command grab because he can't block command grabs. I meant to say jump.
Yeah, good utilization on tick throw. You know, tick throw, surprisingly, not an option a lot of people go for in a tag game, but it's really good here with Kanji. And again, Adachi just able to escape barely. Renix has plenty of life on table, letting the super rip, getting the hit and the disrespect from full screen.
Yeah, okay, but you know, honestly, there is a price to pay for going for the disrespect there, as they gave this team of all things a lot of space available and was able to get the hit. Pixel Traveler slowly but surely making the disadvantage state a little bit more disadvantageous, especially with this confirm here. I almost said Tager. Freaking Kanji in the red zone. One-touch situation for him with the meter on deck.
Yeah, another challenge too. Okay, finding the bear screw again. You know, almost dead, but the burst able to save Renix from dying there. Right now, it's a next hit wins regardless for each character, and just trying to figure out this neutral a little bit. And very much an advantage for Pixel Traveler, of course, with having the better screen control and screen pollution, like you said. That 5C finding the hit and killing the Ragna. It's down to Kanji right now. Renix might be paying dearly for that teabag from earlier, but wow.
Ooh. That was a bit of an unfortunate hit there with the barrels there. Sets up the BZO, goes in for the 5C there. There is enough health available for Renix to survive. Maybe a few hits here or there, but this will... Oh my god, he's still going for it. Pixel Traveler timing it just right, but kind of gets into a bad situation and does not get the red throw, but actually is not able to confirm off it. Gotta be careful for Pixel Traveler here, but he does get DRM. Oh my god! Oh,
Oh my gosh, we're trying to figure out who wants to win more here right now, trying to throw everything out, but the counter hit confirmed. Renix tying it up. You know, playing with their food a little bit, but what's important is the W in the end. 2 rounds of teabagging even too, so but tying it up 2-2, very scary. You know, Pickle Traveler's worst enemy in this matchup, it seems, has been Teddy a couple times. Just giving Renix free outs to certain hits. It's like, oh, you know, found the hit. Oh, here come the barrels. Oh, here comes the Gundam now, and it's messing up my combo. So that stabilization is super critical at times, and you got to play with the hits and roll with the punches.
yeah, and that's also something to note too. Like Teddy, for as weird as he is to play, and how like refined you generally have to be in order to play Teddy at a competitive level, there's just going to be situations where the items are gonna screw you over, and you kind of just have to accept that, or in like if you're really cracked enough, be completely ready for it, because those items can be a boon and a bane in a couple scenarios. And yeah, Pixel Travel unfortunately was not ready for those buckets to hit in that way, so going to be another game that they have to play out, and going to be tying up the set 2-2. Let's see how these two adapt here, as Pixel Traveler kind of seemed more familiar with the matchup, was able to make a pretty good stabilization into an almost comeback here, but Renix not out of it just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we saw in the ratio tournament, it did go Renix, so we're going the full distance here. Game 5. Of course, Pixel Traveler believing in the Teddy Adachi there and saying, okay, you know, I got 2 on the board. Let's get the third. But I might be stuck here in the loading screen.
We're all stuck here. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Maybe it's one of Teddy's new items in BBTAG 3.0. But you know, a lot of the challenge too is just there's been a lot of stray hits and interactions where, you know, Pixel Traveler gets some hit off of something weird, you know, maybe a Zeo or an assist or something, but it's really hard to convert with some of these characters at times too, right? They don't have a lot of neutral skips to let you kind of stabilize, and it's really just the awareness to get things going.
Yeah, for sure. And oh, just like, you know, real quick, like kind of want to talk about like how Pixel Traveler's been playing. There have been a few BZO setups here or there, but interestingly enough, the team seems to mostly be focusing on using Adachi's assist kit, which is by no means weak at all. He has one of the most powerful assist kits in the game, but it's kind of interesting to see the style that he is implementing, because a lot of Adachi team compositions are all revolve around kind of finding a safe place to set up BZO. And with Teddy's missile assist, I actually think this team is very BZO palatable, but doesn't look like that's the type of style that Pixel Traveler really wants to implement. And it's been working out perfectly fine. It's been really strong, seeing a lot of Bears Coup press 6P with that tracking assist plus O active that neutral skip option is. It's been really good, not only to skip neutral, but also for hit confirms and all that shenanigans as well. So it's been a very abnormal Adachi team composition, but it has been very strong so far.
Yeah, what's nice too about having a character strong like Adachi, and like you mentioned, is that you do have that ability to kind of play the character differently. Is it optimal? I don't know. It depends. You're playing against Kanji too, which you know, on paper not the strongest, but dealing with like wake up command grab super is always kind of scary to deal with. So maybe playing a little bit more of that range and kind of sending things is the play. But we're making it in game 5. Pixel Traveler now on the left side, trying to make this go out quick.
Yeah, and a nice stabilization there with the EX chair dive going to be put into the corner, exactly where Renix wants to be. Nice jump out of the tick throw setup, sets up the sandwich, but not going to be popping CC. What a clash there, but Pixel Traveler able to pick it off of it.
Using that bigger buttons with the bat, finding hits. And Pixel Traveler 2 been able to kind of recognize some of the tendencies, avoided the tick throw, is starting to call out some of the burst timings too, but Renix is on the hunt, finding the hit with the DP, trying to chase down this Adachi, finds the hit, into the reset with the throw no less.
Yeah, Pixel Traveler just not ready for that scenario, but just try to get away, base the DP, however, and that is a lot of damage that can be on the board here. Has the CC available too, gonna be able to pop it in order to get a kill, and then Devoured by Darkness just for a little bit of health back, and that is going to be a dead Adachi.
And I believe Renix went for the gold ship combo in tournament. Incredible, but right now, you know, Teddy, level 3 Resonance, has 4 meter. Pretty decent amount of life, can throw a lot of stuff on screen and get things going, so it's kind of on Renix to chase down after this Resonance is over and just try to navigate, utilize that meter as best you can.
Yeah, it does not actually have a lot of use for that resonance here and getting grabbed immediately. Bar is being built up here, maybe able to get enough of it in order to get a kill. 2 bars available right there, and yeah, that will be the Devoured by Darkness, and Renix taking the 5th game and taking the set.
Looks like we are seeing that repeat from the ratio tournament, taking it 3-2, but you know, Pixel Traveler just kind of easing their way. Definitely could have went either way, just depending on a couple interactions and, you know, maybe one bad burst, who knows. BBTAG does have that explosive gameplay to it, so but good showing to Renix. Going to be moving on the winner side here. Of course, Pixel Traveler not out of it yet, going to be moving down to loser side, round 1 to fight it out. But Renix rewards get to fight Sonic-kun in winner's quarters. What a joy!
What a what a reward to have to go. Has to fight the basically online BBTAG tournament star as of recently, but we'll see how that plays out pretty soon. But looks like we'll be having Guzman for Blake for Life up next year.
Thank you so much for getting this to go, because I'm really curious to see what Guzman's up to here. You know, Guzman's gone through a couple teams throughout their BBTAG career, of course. You know, had the Ruby Yang for the longest time, started introducing the Ragna, of course, and, you know, a lot of choices available. Luckily with this game too, characters are not too difficult to pick up, right? And you can kind of pick and choose team comps and try to figure out what works for you and work through it. We got the Ragna Jin, the training mode special right now. Surely this is just for memes, right?
I mean, you know, Guzman does have a semi-competent Ragna here. Has played this team in the past before. I believe this is what they pulled out from one of their ratio teams back when we hosted those. So he has a decent amount of experience with the team. Of course, we know Guzman mostly for the Ragna, or not Ragna Yang, Ruby Yang composition, a tried and true tested team. But looks like they might be playing around with another relatively strong team comp here with Ragna Jin.
And we know Guzman goes for the funny sometimes, right? Maybe their A button is broken and it's just auto selecting the first 2 characters, and you know, this is just what it is. And you know, looks like we're locking in with the entering here. We do have the Ruby Yang on the other side though, so maybe we could see a mirror here, but I don't know. That might be a little too messy. Too much Ruby on one screen.
Maybe, but you know, in the past, Guzman has engaged in some Ragna Yang mirrors with like E2 Deku, and okay, I see what he's doing. He's doing the Ragna player cosplay thing again.
Of course, looks like we got Mr. Cheap on the screen this time. Also, Blake for Life not picking Blake. I don't know if that's a felony in this game, but it's pretty funny regardless. So, yep, we do have the Ruby Yang on player 1 side from Blake, of course, and then yeah, we got the Mr. Cheap cosplay.
Yeah. So Blake for Life has been messing around with a Ruby Adachi composition. However, this is kind of their tried and true, their time-tested team that they've done probably the best with overall. So just going to be respecting Guzman here with the team pick.
Now, you know, Guzman getting these first hits, using the Mika missile to clean up the reset there, and right now just maintaining these kind of fundamental, finding your hits and making conversions off these assists. It's working really well with this happy birthday. A lot of resources available for Guzman too to go into Super. Is going to get the hit. Is it dead? Yeah. 18k, but not enough.
Yeah, and this is looking really bad for Blake for Life. That 5P surprisingly able to slap the Ruby here, but unfortunately getting hit for their troubles. Blake for Life dropping the combo, but just, I have no idea what's going on right now.
Oh, that extended hitbox off the first initial hit, super critical, and right now, Blake for Life getting these hits and trying to get a reset, but right now, Guzman's able to navigate and escape, using a lot of the Mika missile just to kind of navigate and get the assist calls to open up opportunities. It's a safer play too, right? You are playing a 2v1, so might as well.
Yeah, almost got the confirm there. Guzman clearly not knowing what to do with Mika, but will be able to get the hit there. Going to be stabilizing that combo. Did not just go immediately into the DVD. He wants the phone. God damn it, Guzman.
Guzman wants more money in the pot, it seems. Just say it, you know, pay up. Go for the DVD. Might as well. Knowing Guzman, they're going to lose the next 2 games just so they can get more phone steals.
It's true. As soon as he dropped the combo, I was like, he wants the phone. This man is literally the most obvious phone stealer in the entire world. He will like literally throw a game for a phone steal, and like all you can sit there is just go like, bruh.
But you know what? It worked. That's the worst part about it. You know he's chuckling to himself, thinking about glizzies and whatnot, doing the glizzy spin. Who knows what? But looks like we are queuing back up, maintaining the same teams too. So Blake was able to navigate the matchup pretty okay. It's just really that assist calls, a couple stray random hits, was able to really stabilize things for Guzman. Luckily, the Ragna 5P is able to kind of use that second hit on hit and stabilize things for you. But we'll see how game 2 goes.
Yes. And I can definitely tell Guzman wants to be playing on that Ragna for as long as possible here, but he is getting smacked. Going to be going into the corner position, gets the sandwich in there, but all it is a 5C mix here.
Luckily, the partner was out, so not able to get the two-sided hit with the 5C, but able to find this Gauntlet Hades into the corner. Wasn't trying to set up a reset. Another Gauntlet Hades. Mika partying right now. We got a couple grapplers hating on each other right now. Finding a command grab.
Yeah, Guzman clearly just smacking buttons here to figure out what the hell to do with this Mika character. Able to get part of a combo here. Unfortunately, Blake for Life going to hit with the overhead. Opts extend 2 of the bar just to maximize the damage. And Mika will be going below half health too.
Blake's got this corner pressure, finds the overhead, and yeah, safe burst out, but we're burning now. Finding this hit, all gunshots on the fist. Guzman in a little bit of trouble. 5 meter on both sides though, so we could be seeing a cash out here pretty quick on the next interaction.
Alright, yeah, Mika coming out. Push blocks is just in time, but not able to punish the shoulder attacker. That 4P coming out once more has been such a valuable asset here, and almost gets the kill there on the Yang without popping Semblance, but Mika looking incredibly low. Gotta be careful with her.
Pulls Mika missile out, but unfortunately gets the hit there, and Blake finds the overhead too, cashing out all this meter. This should be a dead Ragna. Blake for Life on the board, tying it up, 1 apiece.
And I got nothing to comment about on Guzman's side. He's messing around. I don't have anything intellectual to say.
It almost feels like Guzman booted up Uni 2 for some reason and was like, this character's kind of funny, and is now doing Uni 2 combos. Trying to use your command grab to open up combos. It's like, bro, that doesn't work in this game. It's kind of funny though, and getting one game's good. Are we gonna stick to this? I'd like to see maybe another Ragna cosplay. Maybe cosplay as Mr. Cheat Forma 2.0 day 1. If we know the lore, who knows? But we got the Trace Leches cosplay available. What other Ragnas could we cosplay as?
Could play the
Josuke, the Awokenin. Could play a whole lot. Oh, and Guzman now picking the Blake, saying, no, I'm the Blake for Life, actually.
Get ready.
Yeah. So, not to rag on the guy at all, but I don't think I've actually seen Blake for Life play Blake. I might be mistaken here. So, I don't know how much knowledge they have of the character. I would hope a lot, considering it's in the name. But Blake is also one of those tricky characters that can be hard to deal with. That being said, it's being piloted by Guzman. And if he does one Blake combo, I will be impressed.
Guzman recently bought the Ruby beat 'em up game and is going to use those fundamentals to carry him through this match, it seems. But, using the side switches to try to kind of set up some pressure in neutral is always good. Blake is fast moving, has a lot of big buttons to get conversions from weird angles. But right now, Ruby getting this first big hit with the JC.
Ooh, I don't know what that empty jump was for, but we're able to get the swap here. He knows block strings at the very least. Oh, you know what? He's kind of cooking a little bit, but Blake for Life going to be firing back here. Guzman, though, with an excellently placed 5B, going to be getting some type of confirm, but no full hit.
And right now, Blake getting these combos, setting it up. An unfortunate miss on that JC. Could have had a really good opportunity to set up some good Oki, but Guzman also using push block into 5B is a really strong option, right? You punish any sort of follow-up buttons. Oh, finds the link too. Okay, maybe Guzman knows how to play this character a little bit.
Okay. Okay, I see you, Guzman. I see you. I see you.
Good utilization of the skill there, just to bait out any sort of attempt from Yang. You know, any sort of fear of anti-air armor. Finding this hit again. Guzman really starting to party here. Finds the reset into the gunshots. Is a mid for some reason, but right now it's going all Guzman Gaming.
Yeah. Considering how skilled this combo is, yeah, can't kill with that amount of resources here, but sets up the sandwich on the Resonance and will be getting a swift kill for Blake with life, with their own character, no less. 2-1 for Guzman.
That was a sick active switch. Steal the corner, gets the hit. Oh, man. Very smart. You know, maybe Guzman realizes Blake for life means I cannot kill Blake. So it's you know, Blake's kryptonite. Just pick Blake into Blake for life. That could be the tech. Also, you know, if you never pick Blake, you never have to see Blake die too. So who knows? But it doesn't seem like they're not unfamiliar with the matchup, right? It's just kind of a matter of navigating the bigger buttons, of course, because when using that push block button, it's really strong. You know, it's the earlier tech, but it works out.
Yeah, definitely very completely game style compared to what they were using before. Blake being this zoner, quote-unquote, character with their very big buttons and long normals in order to kind of like control space, has a lot of mobility too, so she can be a tricky character to have to run down. I can imagine for Yang it's really difficult, but Ruby does have the mobility in order to match her. She definitely has the buttons in order to match her. So fortunately, I didn't get to see a lot of the Ruby from Blake for Life's side, but I think with some more adaptations here in this game 4, they're able to kind of fire back against Guzman. But yeah, you know, there's a surprising amount of Blake competence on Guzman's side. I've never seen him actually play the character, but I guess his love for Ruby like just channeled somewhere, and he was able to actually do combos, and he kind of knew what to do in neutral too. I was very impressed.
I mean, it transcends. And luckily with like the 2.0 changes, right? Some of Blake's combo routing got a little bit more standardized. But even then, Blake is one of the very few characters where you can't just kind of pick her up and succeed really that well. Looks like we are having the players kind of rejoin just to make sure there's no rollback issues. Dusting off the cartridge, of course. But we are queuing up into this game for Guzman in the advantage 2-1 right now. Blake for life making the run back, believing in their team. It's a good team, and it checks out, but we'll see if Guzman's able to secure it here with the Blake pick against Blake.
Yes, it was all Guzman last game. Let's hope to see that Blake for life able to get some more momentum on their side. And Ruby Yang is all about getting those hits early and making them count, or at least looping it into like kind of just a win, as we've seen from like Itadeku and Guzman themselves here. So let's see how they play out here in this game 4.
So look at this Yang aggression round start, able to win that air interaction, but Guzman back on the prowl here, finding these hits. That JB is so strong, but good blocks here from Blake too. Just trying to navigate this neutral. These bigger buttons are always a challenge, but you also play a Ruby, so you're able to do it.
And gets the grab on Guzman's grab setup of their own. Blake for life going to be maintaining this corner position here. Sets up the sandwich with no cross combo, allowing Guzman to pop right out, but the arbor actually going in clutch here. Going to be hurting Blake quite a bit. This was a DP punish as well, but misses the combo. That is actually pivotal here. Guzman also dropping the combo, dropping everything here. There's spaghetti on the floor, but Guzman picking it all back up.
Luckily, you know, both players surviving that crazy interaction. Of course, Blake able to get to install on the DP and confirm off of it, super critical. But right now, Guzman's starting to get dangerously low on life for both characters. Got to figure out how to navigate this pressure a little bit better. Finds a hit on the Yang, and Yang is down.
Yeah, that's huge here for Guzman in this very equal match overall. Trades there, so not going to be able to get a confirm. Tries to hit the overhead there, but Blake for life's defense solid so far. Does not get hit by any cross-up shenanigans, but a lot of this Resonance is running out. Gets the nice air hit. That is going to be really nice here. Almost gets the kill here. And Blake for life very much in it now.
Yes, plenty of life on the table. One of the great strengths of Ruby is able to stabilize a lot of raw hits into buzzsaw and teleports, anything. And now we're just staring down, waiting for this cross combo to end. Finds the hit on the pinwheel, but not able to convert it into anything, just too far away. Finds the clap, but not quite yet.
Ooh, wins the air-to-air exchange here. This is suddenly a game completely in Blake for life's advantage, forcing out a Resonance pop here from Guzman. Push block straight out of the scenario, but the pressure keeps on going. Lands here with a grab. This should be a kill. Yeah, spends the bar here. Goes into the super as well. Blake for Life able to keep it all stable there in this game 4, winning the game. I almost said winning the set.
Tying it up 2-2, and we kind of mentioned it in the previous set. Well, that 2v1 advantage is super critical, but Blake played it really well, recognizing I have the life lead. You have to kind of come to me to win this game. And so, just playing that down back game, waiting out the cross combos, waiting out any sort of pressure from Guzman, finding those hits and those kills, utilizing the really good read buttons and just confirming into really solid combos, tying it up 2-2. Now, will we see Guzman switch another character? Is Guzman going to pick Heart? I don't know, Ragna or something?
Maybe like...
I don't think anyone plays that team, but it's funny.
I don't think it's a good team, but you know what? Guzman could have heard you.
I'm trying to do a little bit of subliminal messaging to him, just trying to get him, you want to play hard, but looks like it did not work out. We are picking the mirror game 5. It's Poetic, of course. Got a matchup. Who's got the better Ruby Yang? Starting off with Yang on both sides. I like the idea. 5B round start from both players. You guys have to do it. Like, it's a requirement, right?
I haven't seen that happen in such a long time. Like,
What's
maybe like 3 years. Yeah. Like, dab me up, bro.
Dab me up and into the 2C clash, and then they both fall over for some reason.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love this game so much. Right now, Blake finding his first big hit, and Guzman down on a lot of life, missing the command grab, finding the shoulder tackle into the reset.
Yeah, like the interesting theory here about like losing life early in this matchup is that if you were able to pop Yang Semblance, that might give you an advantage here to win, but neither of them so far able to actually get to that point. Blake for Life going to be getting hit with that disgusting teleport mix, and it's currently stuck in the vortex right now.
The safe ender with the Super 2, gonna have access to a safe jump if they need it. Yeah, but able to tech out of the corner. Oh, but puts himself back in, trying to navigate around all these teleports in the air. Uh-oh, and a happy birthday. This is looking pretty grim for Blake.
And in Ruby Yang fashion, it starts and then it ends in a flash here as Guzman going to be taking game 5 against Blake for Life in a very emphatic fashion, proving that he is the better Yang Ruby, at least in this set.
He has the KDA picks. I've seen that 136 timer count way too many times against Guzman. Guzman gonna be moving on to fight Bumba Chunga in winners quarterfinals. Of course, Blake not out of it yet. Moving on to the losers bracket side. I think they're gonna be playing Eternum on losers side, so we haven't seen them yet, but maybe we'll see them soon. Who knows? But just a quick bracket update too. Sonic-kun did take an overnight Hunter 3-1. Loser 7 beat Fish Liquor 3-0. Fish Liquor has evaded me every time I've been on commentary. I want to see them play, but it just never happens for me, unfortunately. Not Jerry beating BXR. A good reference 3-1. And then Hunt moving on. E2 Deca looks like couldn't make it today. And then Moontide beating Midori 3-2.
Yes, definitely some very surprising upsets there, but nonetheless, we will be moving on to our bracket: loser versus Not Cherry and Bumba Chunga versus Guzman. I am assuming going to be our stream matches for this side of the bracket. As we were to have Loser 7 and Not Jerry up next. Loser 7, a kind of up-and-coming player here in the competitive BBTAG scene. I've gotten the pleasure to play against them before in the past in casuals. Very excited to see them actually show up to a WNF. They are a pretty solid overall Yosuke player, currently locked in with the Yosuke set composition. A very annoying comp to have to deal with going against Not Jerry, somebody that I haven't seen in a hell of a lot of time. Carmine Hazama. Carmine Hazama team comp. A very interesting team composition. I can imagine just due the basis of having Hazama on it, we have like no Hazama players. They are currently one of the only active Hazama reps out there. A very peculiar character for sure, with a very airborne playstyle, much like Yosuke. So you can imagine the matchup's going to be scuffed in that regard. But like I said, I haven't seen them play in a while, so I don't know how practiced they are with the matchup.
Yeah, possible they might have a special pick for the Yosuke, of course. The moonsault flips are always scary to deal with the invincibility, of course, as a Hazama player. But yeah, it could be a very aerial, momentum-based gameplay, throwing out the set doors, having the Carmine just chucking stuff on the ground, trying to make sense of it all. But, could be an interesting matchup regardless. Be kind of cool to see the Hazama, like you mentioned, not a lot of reps. Towards the beginning of BB Tag, we saw a little bit more Hazama variety before 2.0 and a little bit more explosive gameplay. Of course, with Hazama getting the 2.0 changes too and using the metered abilities is always fun. But yeah, it looks like we do have the Hazama Carmine, so we are going to see that. Really cool. And then Loser 7, of course, like you mentioned, Yosuke Seth, once they get in here, that'll be potentially a lot of damage on board.
Yeah, for sure. And not Jerry. Not a person to be trifled with for sure. Back when they were super active, one of the most consistent placers at a lot of online tournaments. Believe they have some pretty good offline results as well. And the Hazama Carmine team composition is overall pretty damn strong for Hazama team comp. Carmine does provide a lot of screen space control, especially airborne space control with those blood wheels. So the Hazama will be roaming relatively freely, and can imagine just off the basis of having that space control, it's going to be difficult for the Yosuke to have to navigate around. And you're just going to note about Loser 7 team, double 16k team comps blows up in an instant, and Carmine is well known for having a lot of great damage options and can really put the hurting on you if you do the wrong decision against him. So not Jerry's team. Very annoying to have to deal with in an individual game, but also very explosive when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, too, kind of getting that initial hit and setting up the vortex for both players, right? The Yosuke Moonsault setups, or Hazama trying to use the claw and set up high-low setups as well, and just trying to figure out who wins those interactions. Are you aware of the gimmicks involved in trying to blow those up, and how to navigate that neutral, too? But looks like we are queuing up here into the game one. Riverside, way too hot, but looks nice here tonight, it seems. Oh, and the paint colors too? Big fan of that.
Yes. I forget this team has an intro like that. I wonder why that's the way he plays it.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about meat. It's a little weird. We had Glizzies earlier from Guzman, so I guess it's on brand, but we're finding these first interactions here. Carmine setting up the blood right away and just trying to not play with Yosuke whatsoever.
Definitely just don't want to get into the infamous Yosuke box here. Maybe keeping that combo short. Yes, that's up a lot of pressure here. I am surprised they stole the corner there with a nice block there from Loser, but gets hit by the Raw 5B. Unfortunately, Seth dropping the combo. Going to be getting a nice chunk of damage on the Hazama, but no full conversion.
Yeah, I like the idea of using this up claw to deal with a lot of this aerial pressure and just, deny Yosuke the ability to play the game and try to approach. He does have some good options to go to the ground. You have the teleport go low setups, but right now, Jerry doing really well, tying things up in the life lead here. Of course, doing plenty of damage to themselves, finding the double overhead this time.
Yeah, and it's just been really difficult for Loser to really get any solid hit on the Carmine here. He was literally bleeding health due to just how many projectiles he's been throwing out. Yeah, and we'll be swapping back to the Hazama in order to get something here. Not able to punish the raw V-slash there, but will be able to get the counter hit. Able to confirm. Yeah, but no, unfortunately dropping the combo. That could have been pivotal.
Pushing kind of a weird high hit, but finds the hit with the claw regardless. Loser down to one character. Just kidding. Down to no characters. Not Jerry on the board, taking game one.
Yep, and kind of seeing a lot of the not Jerry gameplay I was used to before they left. Obviously, they've been practicing quite a bit, maybe in the jungle, I don't know, but that Hazama movement has looking on point and has been what's giving Loser 7 that a big amount of difficulty there, I think, in that game one, because Hazama is like chains movement. If you're like really good at it, He can go in like pretty much any direction that he wants. It can be really annoying to chase down, especially with a character that doesn't really have the greatest approach options like Yosuke. I know like a lot of people find him really annoying to deal with in the air, but one of the downsides that he has is actually chasing people, and just with how much Jerry's been moving around, it's going to be really difficult for him, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Not Jerry, too, really doing a good job of placing the puddles, no less, and kind of setting up these weird scenarios where, if I do an active switch here, mid-pressure, the puddle could come out and get the hit. It depends on which side it's going to hit, too. But right now, Loser 7 setting up the sandwich, finding the hit, but unfortunate drop. Jerry able to escape.
Yeah, but the Zalman will be running away. A very smart active swap there. Did not want to get near the Yosuke at all. Carmine going to be setting a lot of pressure. Gets the overhead hit, but not quite believing in it. 4 bars on deck, but not able to go into a kill just yet. And a nice EX dive will be catching the Zalman and putting him in quite low position, actually.
Got the orb set up, but yeah, just barely gets deleted by that pinwheel there. And again, we're seeing a lot of these metered skills from Loser 7 just to kind of feed out this pressure from Jerry. And, if you're getting hit and cashing out, it works, right? And Carmine's now getting pretty close to life support here. Finds the hit with the dive into the super, and that's a dead Carmine.
Yeah, just barely there. That super is pretty notorious for not doing enough damage, but it does not matter regardless. Going to be smacking Not Jerry straight to the gown. Loser 7 looking excellently here in this game, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill just yet. Not Jerry going to have a chance to pop that resonance.
Loser 7 trying to catch the forward tech, Many times you don't want to tech into Yosuke, and it's an escape option you can do, but Loser 7 trying to track down and finds the kill, tying it up 1 game apiece. And that was really, pretty dominant once kind of Loser 7 found those skills and recognizing, I can just blow through a lot of this pressure Hazama's throwing out. It has weird hitbox interactions and just trying to maintain that pressure and really working out for them.
Get ready.
Yeah, Loser 7, from the time that I played with him, really loves using that EX dive that Seth has. It is only a hit grab, not a command grab, but it does leave him completely invulnerable during the animations. Really good at dodging screen pollution, assuming it hits, of course. And I think that is one of the big things that Jerry is going to have to contend with here in this matchup. He can put up a lot of wheels and a lot of projectiles on the screen, but if Loser 7 is able to kind of navigate through it and get put into that Seth pressure, it's going to be like really annoying to kind of get them off.
Right now, Yosuke trying to navigate. Yeah, one of the challenges too with Yosuke is once the moonsault's over, you got to figure out how to get to the ground safely. V-slash is an option, but it is an attack, so you can't block, obviously. And I think Jerry placing those pinwheels is really critical, but finding the grab anyways. Loser 7 getting this first big interaction, trying to set up some pressure here mid-screen.
Nice setup there, but just gets push blocked immediately. However, falls right into the moonsault there, opting to burst in the Carmine, but no full confirm. Not Jerry going away with quite a bit.
We got the kunai throws this time, trying to just outzone this Carmine pressure right now, but Loser 7 sitting pretty comfortably on this life lead, finding the hit, but unfortunately no conversion. It's okay, it's a game that inches it sometimes, and just trying to navigate this cross combo pressure now and finding the hit.
And does actually find the hit, putting Yosuke in that red health zone, but his team not looking very healthy. His own... Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, here comes the dive, and yeah, the screen pause, able to pause and punish that. Coming in right now, Jerry on life support with both hits. Oh my gosh, but finding the DP. Jerry just 1 hit away. Loser 7 just trying to track it down, finds the dive and the kill.
Yeah, that move has a lot of priority here. Wapsu in with the EX wheel, and Loser 7 up 2 games ago. Not Jerry in a very convincing fashion too.
Absolutely, I think Loser 7 is starting to figure out the matchup a little bit. Like we mentioned, Hazama, very low representation, so trying to figure out, okay, how the heck do I deal with this claw? Carmine obviously pretty well represented. Maybe not on a team comp like this, right? We see Carmine more on a screen pollution team or the command grab unblockable setups. But right now, Loser 7 1 game away, and of course Jerry believing in their team, believing in the Carmine Hazama, saying, all right, I'm taking this all the way.
Yeah. I have seen them swap off to a different team composition in the past. However, this is the tried and true. And the Yosuke, despite taking the most of the damage I think in this matchup has been what's giving not Jerry a big amount of trouble here. That infamous Yosuke box where you kind of just like he smooth salts in the air, you basically can't get near him. I think is what's killing him there. But you know, able to get the hits on him and brings in the Seth here, which is all it can be equally as annoying.
Absolutely, Seth finding this hit. Oh, unfortunately not quite able to stabilize with the orb, but getting the hit and kind of resetting his pressure, but now stuck in the corner, finding the DP out over the overhead.
Yeah, he gets the cross combo set up as well. Yeah, there is not a lot of safe places to actually burst against Yosuke, so it does actually find the right point, saving the Hazama, but brings in the Carmine into this very disadvantaged situation.
Right now, Loser 7 setting up this cross combo positioning. Jerry in a little bit of trouble here, but able to just kind of up back and find their way out and cross combo their own. Going to be setting up some good opportunities here, some damage, potential reset, try to get some life back here for Carmine. Absolutely.
Sets up the sandwich scenario here and able to actually bait the burst too and build up all the bar that is needed in order to kill the Yosuke. As long as there's not a drop here, this should be a kill. And said drop did happen here. Commentator's curse, but you know what? Kept it all meter positive.
They just wanted to save the meter for the kill. All finds the DP. Yeah, it was a very risky active switch there, but you know, it paying off there for Loser 7. And just trying to find the way out. They do have plenty of meter to make this happen. Has resonance, so could go into super, but just gonna try to reset this pressure and find another way to get the kill.
Yeah, good swap there. Able to save the Carmine just in time, but gets hit by the order of his own. The Seth putting up so much. Screen Pollution actually trades there with the orb. Cross combos right there, but able to get out of anything too spooky. Not Jerry. Kind of struggling here with the Seth.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is 2v1 on paper, but that orb is basically another character. But right now, Jerry finding these hits and really close. This should be enough with the system mechanic. There it is. Jerry tying it up 2-2.
Your skills really.
Yes, the cross raid coming in clutch. And yeah, this is going to be tying up the set 2-2 once again, but not Jerry struggling a lot there with that matchup. I talked about previously in the start of the match, like the Yosuke seemed to be the primary problem there, but the Seth kind of playing defensively over on the other side of the screen, just with the orbs also proving to be quite the trouble here. So not Jerry, kind of contending with a very defensive playstyle that they might not be used to approaching. But they got another game to play around with, but Loser 7 locked in, I am sure. We'll see how this plays out here in this game 5.
They're queuing in, maintaining those team picks, really trying to represent kind of, you know, like you mentioned, the old heads versus the new and up-and-coming players. Lots of air mobility going on here in this game 5 and just trying to jog into position. But right now, these V-slashes are starting to put in some work for Loser 7.
Yeah, brings in the Seth, who was actually taking quite a bit of damage just from being an assist. This is a very neutral heavy game so far. Once again, brings in the Yosuke, also bringing in the Zama as well. There's been a lot of push block too, so this has been a neutral heavy game and goes straight into the Moonsault. Loser 7 ready for the conversion. Gonna be getting the first solid hit of this game.
Talking about a couple times that Yosuke box, and Loser 7 doing a really good job of waiting for the Hazama to come into that space and then punishing with the Moonsault, using the invincibility to blow through any sort of aerial hits too. And right now, we're just kind of back to neutral, trying to figure out what works. Another Moonsault conversion, finding the hit here too on Not Jerry. Has a lot of meter available, gonna go for the knee. This is a low damage knee though, is it enough? Not quite.
Yeah, and that's pivotal here, but does not respect the safe jump, just DP straight on it. Brings in the solo Hazama. Definitely the lesser ideal of the two characters in order to make this comeback with. Ooh, and a nice mash going to be catching the Hazama. Unfortunately, dropping a combo here. Not Jerry, able to stabilize a little bit, but no full stabilization. Gets a hit on the Seth, and that should be a kill, but no, dropping the combo. Gets hit by the DP, spaghetti all over the floor here, but it's still going on. Gets hit by the low, and this should be it. Maybe.
A lot of damage on deck here. Doesn't have a way to combo in, but yeah, it's just enough. Cross finish able to secure it. Loser 7 going to be moving on, winning 3-2. I do really like that Not Jerry kind of pulled out those new Hazama tricks at the very end, using the meter cancels to extend your claw pressure. It was starting to work, but yeah, just one or two confirms missing to reverse it. But they're going to be moving on here. Loser 7 going to be fighting Sonic-kun in winter semifinals. Not Jerry, of course, not out of it yet. Going to be moving on to loser's side.
Yep. Yeah, gonna be fighting Sony-kun. That's gonna be a freaking interesting match when we get to it. More airborne characters they gotta deal with. But next up, we're gonna be having Bumchunga versus Guzman Gaming.
Ah, yes, the returning Guzman. We'll see if they're gonna do some new cosplay here. When we think Bumba Chunga, what kind of character do we think? Like, what character is the true essence of Bumba Chunga?
Well, I mean, he's only ever been on the Lapras Jin composition, so if I had to imagine, it'd be one of those two. I've never seen him on anything else.
Jin, you know, I don't think I've ever seen Guzman play Lapras before, but given the surprises tonight, I could see it happen. There's a lot of opportunity.
I could see him play Jin, but like, I can see everybody who plays this game playing Jin to some degree because he's kind of a basic character, you know. Lapras definitely making more of a statement by playing her. One of the let's just put it out. It is one of the struggles in this game for sure. A character that has very high damage output potentially, but overall kind of struggles in the neutral game and has a lot of faults when it comes to her overall kit and how it operates. But Bojaga, being a Lapras enthusiast and a Lapras loyalist, has put in the effort to kind of understand the flow of that character and has done pretty well with a team comp that is pretty underpowered, I think, in today's metagame for sure. But that just kind of speaks to the volumes of how dedicated they are to making that team work. And they have had strong showings here in the past, and I expect a strong showing here against them, or against Guzman.
Yeah, but looks like we're not going to be able to see Guzman call the Labras meter, Glizzy meter, or anything like that. Bumbachunga did take it 3-2, going to move on and fight Moontide, which I imagined we're going to be seeing probably up next instead. And just a quick check-in here, Sonic-kun, like we mentioned, is going to be playing Loser 7, which did mean they took it over Renix 3-0, and then Hunt going down to Moontide 3-1. Got some players still going on through the loser side too, so we're working through some of that as well. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for these players to finish up their games, we got a Matcherino. Come check it out. You can do exclamation point Matcherine something, Matcheroony, Marconi, I don't know. But we got a Matcherino there. Got $10 in the pot right now. And of course, it is direct contribution, so if you do contribute, it's always much appreciated. It goes to all of the players. I'm pretty sure Cheap still says funny things about it if you leave a message there. But check it out sometimes if you're available to support. If not, sharing it is always helpful too.
For sure. Yeah, we're going to be moving on to the winners finals, or winner semifinal side of the bracket. Moontide versus Bumchunga, Sonic-kun versus Loser 7. Two people that I haven't really ever seen in winner semifinal side of the bracket. But very excited to see them here going against two very strong players on both sides of the tournament. And yeah, Sonic-kun versus Loser 7. I don't think I've ever actually seen Loser 7, a PC predominant player. And kind of one of the newer people on the block. So I don't know if they have gone into fight Sony-kun before in the past, much less in this part of the tournament. But that is going to be a very exciting match here. Definitely kind of an underdog versus kind of the top dog type of story match we're having on here. But I'm sure it'll be a great game nonetheless.
Yeah, I think on paper, it's even kind of scary for Sonic-kun, right? We've seen Sonic-kun dominate a lot of these tournaments, but that Yosuke is in some people's opinion, a hard call to Heart, right? Heart with her homing, it is invincible only on the back portion of it, and she goes right into the Yosuke zone. So being able to navigate that matchup a little bit differently, maybe utilizing your partner a little bit more, or, God forbid, just pick a different character entirely, is an option. Looks like we do have Moontide coming in here, so we might be seeing that Moontide versus Bumchunga as well.
Yeah, another kanji player.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just gonna say, got the Persona team on lock, got the kanji, Naoto, of course, and then Bumchunga locking in their favorites as well as soon as they get here.
Yeah, for sure. Moontide, a kanji enthusiast for sure. I've seen them swap off this team a couple times, but this is what I would consider their main squeeze and what they've been performing the best with. Haven't actually gotten to see them play in quite a long time, and they're already here in winter semis. So this is going to be excited to see.
Absolutely. You know, Jin probably feeling a little awkward joining the Persona party, but you know, we got some tier diffs to kind of balance things out. It's interesting too because you know, Jin back in 1.0 in the early days of Resonance being scary was the meter monster versus kind of our new meter monster Naoto Shirogane, of course, being able to instant kill and setting up a lot of infinite block string pressure and Resonance. So kind of interested to see how the old versus new plays out in this matchup.
For sure, for sure. Ooh, yeah, went for the air guns there, but unfortunately was not jumping. Bumachunga not going to be baiting that burst, but does DP out of the situation. A little bit of a lag spike there. Not going to be able to fully confirm off it, but Labber still will be getting a lot of this pressure building up into the yellow axe.
Mustard meter right now. Ketchup coming soon. Finds the throw and the hit, but another burst going unpunished. You know, that's one of the challenges too, but finding the overhead anyways. I like that pressure, saying, oh, I'm going to land first. Just kidding. Pulled this high. Has Ketchup on deck too. Going to be able to cash out in any sort of big damage too. 4 meter on deck as well.
Shirogane looking kind of low here, and the DP punish will be able to take out the Shirogane, bringing in the solo Kanji. Definitely going to be quite the struggle alone here, especially as Bumachunga maintains all this pressure and hits the throw bait as well. Has that 3 bars and cross combo on deck. I'm sure that this is going to be a kill, and didn't even need the cross combo, as Bumachunga going to be taking game 1 in a very convincing fashion.
Lives to spare too, just really able to navigate that pressure really well. You know, Moontide was able to get a couple interesting interactions to start, but really a lot of it was Labrys, you know, just kind of pushing that pressure, putting on the gas, using that meter to their advantage, and maintaining the damage pressure too. Which is, I mean, that's the character, right? You got to keep it going, otherwise you're going to lose out on your damage and make your opponent guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to see a lot of what Moontide had to offer here with this team comp, but starting off a lot better, bringing in the Kanji, but once again, just getting DP out of the trouble and not blocking the low check as well. Bumachunga are going to be restarting their aggression they saw in the first part of the game, trying to bait out something, but just smacks Moontide and brings in the Shirogane, sorry, and this is looking really bad here for Moontide.
Finds the throw into the assist as well. I like that Bumachunga is using the assist to beat out any sort of push block attempts and just going to go for raw super punish and get the kill. Moontide down to 1 character again.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be down to 0 once more as Bumachunga kind of dominates here in this game. Doesn't even need to spend any of the cash. 2-0 for Bumachunga right now.
Yep, he's on the cross raid, saving everyone some time. We don't need to watch the super animations play out. Much appreciated. Bumachunga, quick 2-0, trying to make this run to winners finals as quick as possible. But Moontide, you know, of course, no slouch, able to beat out some really strong players here tonight. So just got to reset, refocus, kind of figure out, all right, what the heck is happening? How do I win these interactions a little bit more?
Yeah, this has been kind of a Labrys dominated game here, and I kind of talked about, like, you know, Labrys is a struggle character, but when her offense does get started, it can be really scary. As we've been talking about, you know, the mustard and ketchup backs, those do increase her damage by quite a significant margin, and the more momentum that you have, the higher damage output she will end up dealing to you. But, you know, it will build down as much as she gets hit, and it's currently in the gray axe zone, which is not great for Bumachunga.
Right now, Moontide is really starting to reverse the games here, just cashing out all this damage right now. Really starting to put on this pressure. Uh-oh, a cross-up super, able to avoid it entirely, finding this hit off the cross combo. And this could be a dead Jin.
Yeah, just as quickly as they lost the game, they're looking to win this one here. Moontide getting a confirm here, but not quite able to stabilize it into a kill. Brings in the Labrys here into that yellow X zone. Does not block the overhead. Currently in the red. This is not great. Is she gone? No, not quite. Grab scaled it too much.
Fortunately, yeah, all the way down back to blue meter here, but finding these air hits too. Able to confirm, stand up some pressure. We might see a reset here in the catch-up range. Kanji in a little bit of trouble trying to make something happen. The DP just barely able to call it out. Oh no, a DP whip. It's so critical.
Yeah, Moontide's advantage slowly deteriorating as both characters will be put into that red zone, but does not punish the super correctly here. Moontide going to be putting Bumachunga in that one-touch scenario, but swipes away that hit. Oh my god, doesn't punish the DP. That could have been pivotal there for Bumachunga. Might have been able to win the game off that, but allowing the Shirogane to pop the resonance. But gets the throw of their own! 2 bars available. Are they able to confirm this into a kill here? Looking like Moontide will be getting 3-0'd here as Bumachunga able to make the sick Labrys comeback in order to secure victory.
And what a heartbreaker for Moontide. Had all that 6 sequence pressure going on in the corner. Everything was going good, but you know, sometimes you just need 1 HP in a dream, and Bumachunga able to really lock it in with an unlikely character too, right? Of all the characters in that match, like Labrys definitely can be a struggle at times, like you mentioned, but able to move on, taking it 3-0. Moontide, of course, not out of it yet. Gonna be fighting the winner of Renix versus either Not Jerry or Midori, so you know, still got a little ways to go here, but good showing to Bumachunga.
For sure. And yeah, we're gonna be moving on to the other side of the bracket there. Sonic King versus Loser 7, as we were talking about a little bit briefly. Gonna be kind of one of those cursed matchups, the Heart versus Yosuke. Notoriously one of the worst things to watch and play in the world. Neither player likes this. Neither types of people really like to play the matchup. The Heart players think it's ass, the Yosuke players think it's ass, and I'm sure we will also think it's ass, as it's gonna be freaking basically just a fly swatting competition. But Sonic-kun being the premier person to beat in pretty much every online bracket we've gotten to see them play in, and one of the people that has consistently proven to be one of the best players in our scene as it's currently going up against a upcoming star, Loser 7. Not a player that you can really discount, has had some excellent results in the past and looking really strong here in this tournament, but we'll see how it plays out here in this winners finals determining game.
Absolutely, and yeah, like you mentioned, it's both players kind of agree it's an awful matchup to play, right? Of course, Sonic-kun does have the S available, who has the big buttons. You know, that JC crest able to challenge potential moonsault pressure as well if you get it going early enough. And then Seth Orbs is going to be something to worry about too as you're trying to home in and get some pressure going. So it's really just kind of a matter of being able to navigate the opponent's strengths as opposed to exploiting weaknesses, right? And just trying to figure out, okay, how do I place my positioning here? What kind of pressure can I get going? Obviously, there's invincible options on both sides, and we'll see who's able to kind of clutch it out.
Sure. All right, here, yeah, Yosuke Seth versus Heart as the expected matchup being played here. Don't know how much experience Loser 7 has against Heart. Yosuke, comparatively a lot more common character, and I've definitely seen Sonic-kun play against a lot of them in the past, but considering how bizarre Heart is as a character, I feel like I've been saying that a lot tonight, which is who's being played here. I don't know how much Loser 7 has experience against.
As a Heart player, she is bizarre, yes. Definitely kind of unique in her game plan compared to a lot of other characters, right? You know, not having access to a typical JC and instead having a movement option, but that moonsault, again, calling out the Heart in the round start, getting stuck in that box, forced to respect it.
Yeah, just... Oh, that was actually an excellent 2B placement, but could not time it to actually counter hit with the moonsault, but does bring in the Seth.
Trying to set up this pressure, but yeah, gonna be using the 2-1-4C to blow through everything. Heart on life support right now. Gotta be able to find a way to escape, and the burst able to get out.
Yeah, spends a little bit of the cash. Wants to get that corner carry and put that Yosuke in that dangerous one-touch scenario here. Tries to bait the DP with the delayed JA, but will be able to safely call out the Seth. Oh, Yosuke almost dying, but thankfully was able to get out of that situation.
Awareness of Sonic-kun to tag the Yosuke there too, you know, representing that even though cross combo is close to ending, you gotta be still worry about that hit sometimes, and we're gonna find the hit, same side this time.
Alright, yeah, gonna be returning back to the neutral, kind of even in terms of health on both sides, but Loser 7 slowly building up the advantage here. but does go enough air stall in order to kill the Seth, or not kill the Seth here, but I hit the Seth. That's the word I'm looking for. Gets the tick throw as well. This is looking good for Sonic-kun.
Block on the high, another high this time, not blocking there, and able to punish the burst with an optimal. This should be a dead Yosuke here. Plenty of meter on board. Yeah, I'm just going to catch out the 2 to get the kill. No sense in spending Spore.
Hard going to be coming in here, but nice evasion there coming up for Loser 7, but does still have to block the homing. Seth Orb going to be thankfully blocking some of the momentum that the Heart can bring out here. Sonic-kun playing relatively defensively so far, but Loser 7 finding a little bit of a point in order to get stuff going and immediately cash out into the super. This could be very pivotal here.
Damage, next hit, able to evade not only the command grab, but the DP, but unfortunate drop from Sonic-kun, but again, right now, Loser 7 just able to use a lot of these resources, but the wake-up super gonna be enough. Sonic-kun able to clutch it out in a pretty close game 1. I think we're going the distance with this set.
Yeah, for sure. First game available, proving that Loser 7, knows how to deal with the Heart matchup for sure. And, we talked about the Yosuke box a lot here tonight because that is one of the most important things you have to be aware of when it comes to the Yosuke matchup. And Heart really does not have a great option in order to avoid it just because homing is, it is pretty much a magnet to the other side of the screen. So no matter how much you try to steer it, it'll always go towards Yosuke, and that is not a great thing for Heart.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple options, and we saw Sonic-kun use it, like land early, go for 2B. You can use meter to do another back homing during homing, but of course you do run the risk of doing it too early, and then you're punishable and can't block. But right now, Sonic-kun taking to the ground instead and just setting up these high-low mix and able to find this first hit and securing the corner.
Yeah, gets to the late overhead into the tick throw setup here. Loser 7's character not looking great as they are forced to burst into the Yosuke, or burst out the Yosuke.
The cross up 2 into the reset. Big start here. Sonic-kun getting dangerously close, being able to kill one of these characters. Not quite enough resources, though, to make it happen.
Yeah, that honestly killed him with the single T or DC, but regardless, I'm sure Loser 7's happy about that there, but unfortunately, DP's out of the situation, and it was not correct. Gonna be left here with the solo Yosuke. And only level 2 Resonance too.
Regard the forbidden zoning Heart here. Those love balls are able to track a little bit, but the DP whiff, unfortunate. Loser 7 finding a little bit of luck here and able to get confirmed.
Goes into the kunai super, gonna be putting Heart in that one-touch scenario. One hit is all that is needed to do it, but looking like some good defense, gonna be avoiding that situation, and a nice air-to-air 2 going to be hurting the Yosuke as well, putting Loser 7's characters in a very similar position to Heart, and it looks like they will be going out here. Sonic-kun kind of struggling a little less here for sure in the second game, but Loser 7 not quite out of it, but they're gonna have to fight for their life if they're gonna want to stay into this.
Absolutely, and Sonic-kun again, a little bit more dominant of a game too, but of course, no such Loser 7 able to find those good interactions and finding some hits. But right now, we're locking in those teams, believing that the Yosuke Seth gotten them this far. Might as well keep going to see if we can turn it around. But it's a lot of pressure coming from Sonic-kun up on that 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it was very much just kind of a Sonic-kun dominant game in the first half there. Didn't really get to see the Yosuke play a lot and kind of get into his zone, which I think is once again going to be the pivotal thing that we see in this matchup. And yeah, as we saw right there, already starting off really strong with the momentum, cross combo, trying to make a sandwich setup happen, and does end up getting a Heart here with the cross-up mix.
Yeah, quick cash out into the super just to avoid burst, get the corner pressure, setting up these hits, finding the hit. Oh, and unfortunately, yeah, the burst just able to clip Loser 7 out of the pressure just barely. Now we're going for this low pressure. Sonic-kun able to get this hit and start turning things around, but Heart dangerously low on life right now.
Yeah, just trying their best to not call out Heart in any situation, not even on the Oki here. Going to be calling her a little bit here in order to set the cross-combo scenario. This could be dangerous. Yeah, bursting at the right time. Tries to get the kill in the Heart, but safely gets her out here. As Sonic-kun going to be playing around a lot more with that character.
trying to shoot out this pressure here with the fireballs. So just haven't been able to find the gunshot in, but gonna get DP'd out in response. Sonic just trying to maintain this S pressure and able to find a kill on the Seth, going down to that 2v1 again, but this time with Yosuke. So Yosuke a little bit more linear in their pressure, obviously, not able to quite navigate neutral as well as Seth, but again, the Yosuke block is really strong in this matchup still.
Yeah, that being said, Sonic-kun playing it right, playing it really defensively. Unfortunately, Loser7 just able to hit S at the very tip of that moonsault shenanigans, and will be getting a hit on the heart as well, and not able to actually bait and punish that DP, but this is still looking decently here for Loser7, but unfortunately gets counter hit. This is going to be a very big turnaround and putting a lot of pressure here on Loser.
Goes for the low, good block there, and Loser7 turn. Oh, but unfortunately, yeah, the assist just able to tag the Yosuke on the fall, and Sonic-kun gonna be able to take it 3-0 over Loser7, securing that winner's final spot.
Definitely, despite the match count and how it kind of went there, very well fought from Loser7. Made a lot of good adaptations in that short time they were able to play, and made a pretty emphatic statement with how close those games were getting. Did not fall straight down to Sonic-kun's heart, but unfortunately did get 3-0'd, and Sonic-kun will be moving on to the winner final side of the bracket to fight Bumachunga.
You know, and those two players, they face off many times. I think normally going in Sonic-kun's favor, but Bumachunga have been playing pretty good tonight. Able to, you know, we saw that really strong clutch with the Labrys, of course, and blowing through Moontide 3-0. So tonight could be the night where things change.
Definitely, and you know, Sonic-kun was on that pretty big tournament win streak a couple weeks ago that was ended by one and only Detective Crow, who's not in this bracket as of currently, but looking like Sonic-kun really wants to restart that train going, wants to restart that win streak, and has made a pretty strong showing here, getting, let's see, yeah, they've only lost one game to Night Hunter 47 in order to make it to this side of the bracket, so they are looking really damn well. Just gonna have to wait to see what happens there. When we get there, we will be moving on to the loser side of the bracket, going to be Not Jerry versus Renix coming up next.
So when we saw these two players earlier, right, you know, Renix, of course, representing the Kanji Ragna, you know, playing it out there, just barely able to secure that that first set there on, I think they were opening our opening set, and then Not Jerry, of course, with the Hazama Carmine. So kind of interesting selection in matchup. You know, Hazama very aerial based, and then of course Kanji does have, you know, a couple options to deal with aerial characters, right? Has the hold anti-air command grab, and you know, utilizing the dive to kind of blow through some options, but might be an uphill battle for Renix here.
Yeah, definitely. And Not Jerry, a very experienced player overall. Sure, they fought in a lot of Kanji and Ragnar in the past, but I don't know if they've ever gotten to fight them together. So this could very likely be the first time I think they've ever played.
It could be, at least, you know, in terms of WNF, right? Like in recent years, it's first time these two run into each other. So, but the winner of this is going to move on. Loser does get eliminated, so it's actually a little bit higher here than usual, you know, for a first time introduction, I guess. But we got the pink, of course. Jerry got it locked in, and starting with Carmine this time.
Yeah, just started off there with the EX dive. So that's in the EX wheel, but no punishes on that. Renix going to be playing very much in the air. Not Jerry, in turn, going to be playing very defensively. Going to get smacked by the Ragna 5P, and this is where the Kanji really likes to get going.
Already on Jerry down to half-life, a block DP. Uh-oh, gold ship combo, but an unfortunate drop there. Jerry able to escape just barely.
Yeah, and able to get the happy birthday too on the DP as well, but the 4P actually coming in clutch there for Not Jerry, but it drops the combo. This Carmine looking really low, but all kind of just thrown out with his moves. So that is a lot of recovery we'll have to have available, and a nice EX blood slide going to be sniping out the Hazama, but does drop the combo.
Really strong options here. Renix setting up all this pressure with the Gauntlet Hades, no less, and you know, trying to dive with Belial Edge and just putting on this gross pressure, finding the hit finally with the high. Jerry in a lot of trouble with this low life Hazama. Has level 4 resonance available though, so a lot of options.
Yeah. Unfortunately, didn't go into the Hotenjin Super. That is actually a very safe resonance call that Hazama does have available, and a nice confirm here, going to be stabilizing this potential kill to the Ragna, but unfortunately had to curse him a little bit there. Not Jerry, dropping another combo and swapping over into the Kanji. Yeah, can't be happy about those drops there. Is not Jerry going to be losing the first game.
Unfortunate showing that, that the blood scythe able to secure and control a lot of that airspace too. I have to imagine that's going to be coming in and being a problem that Jerry has to navigate. But, almost had all the resources available to make it come back, but just some of those weird stabilization routes, Hazama being a very technical character too in a game that, not normally has a lot of technical aspects to it. So it's kind of on you to get those hit confirms and stabilize as needed, but it's hard with one character at times.
Definitely, and the rust is definitely showing here with some of these combo drops, but I'm sure as they move on in this bracket, they're going to be able to stabilize some of these confirms. But yeah, not Jerry losing a lot of momentum here with these dropped combos, and don't think the neutral game has been too hampered by the rust. A little bit hard to kind of track down Renix just in general, but they're doing kind of a good job at playing defensively. It's just like, the more defensively Carmine plays, he is one of the characters that can't just turtle forever just because of the health loss.
Oh, we saw Hazama rip the character out of the sky, but unfortunately, Renix able to win that interaction, and Carmine starting to go down to almost half life here.
Ooh, okay, yeah, swaps back over into the Kanji, but does get hit by the command grab.
Seeing the classic Renix 222 inputs, putting on all this pressure. But right now, Jerry said, "All right, I'm done playing. Let's get a little bit more serious here, setting up this pressure here." But Carmine low on life, dead on life. My bad.
Yeah, spent way too much health in order to kind of just throw out a bunch of projectiles. Yeah, opposite. Call in the Kanji. I'm expecting some type of command grab reset.
There it is, going for the blue beat this time, but, Renix able to just barely escape with that DP, but the claw into the confirm, no resonance, meter available here, but level 3, so going to be charging back decently quick. Just trying to set up another way to get a kill, no burst available, of course. And just able to navigate this pressure pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately gets hit by the Kanji air command grab. Thankfully, no conversion here. Wakes up with a Hotenjin, but not able to quite get the confirm off it. There's Ragna. Ooh, that was just a little bit off of hitting the Kanji there, but not Jerry. Going to be falling here to super tie, or not tying, getting up in the sec 2-0.
And right now, Renix doing a really good job of kind of utilizing priority moves and just trying to blow up any sort of air approaches from Jerry. So trying to figure out ways around that. We did see Jerry use the EX up claw to trying to snipe out, but just barely missed. And it's very committal too, especially with that one character to not be able to cover anything with an assist. Yeah, and right now, Jerry just got to lock in, kind of figure out, all right, do I stick with the team? Looks like it.
I can imagine, if they are rusty, I doubt they want to be going to a side team in order to try to make some type of miracle comeback happen. Just kind of a matter of being able to kind of just lock down the Kanji in general and kind of nullify a lot of what the problem has been for not Jerry.
So Kanji 2, weird character, right? Has the command grab to kind of blow through a lot of the safe jump pressure, has that chair that kind of goes through a lot of weird projectiles, and has that second hit that sometimes you aren't ready for, and able to use the priority with the dive too, and going for the kick this time, and again just winning this interaction in an early burst, not punished. Jerry able to escape this time.
Yeah, and brings in the Hazama. Just trying to get some, maybe cross up or just anything going on. Does beat the DP and able to swing right back in order to get the punish. Maybe spending some of the combo there, but unfortunately dropping it as they are going to be dropping another combo. Not Jerry can't be happy about all these combo drops, but they are keeping a good position in terms of the life.
Renix has been doing a really good job of navigating pressure too, recognizing, okay, there's not a lot of options for Jerry to go high and get pressure going, but right now Renix just content with, waiting for you to back up and make a punish and using the persona to catch anything in the air. But a happy birthday is a huge opportunity for Renix right now.
Alright, yeah, they're able to get the DP punish as well. Gonna be left with the solo Carmine, which is easily the better solo combat character to have to deal with. Can bring in a lot of chip damage available, and yeah, we'll be activating a safe swap out there, but somehow jump straight over the Carmine 5A, and that's looking like not Jerry. Going to be going down to Renix 3-0.
Guys, is Kanji a good character? Like, that was the weirdest interaction, you know. Carmine, really strong character, right? That the 5B or 5A, the big button there, and just able to navigate right over that. Renix taking it 3-0, eliminating not Jerry. Gonna be moving on to fight Moontide too in loser quarters.
Definitely, and we'll be having Hunt 520 coming up next. But other players that, like, the name sounds so familiar to me, and it's like clicking like I've seen this guy before. But at least in a while I haven't really gotten to see them play, and locked in with a very interesting team comp. Noel Seth.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the idea, right? Seth is able to do some restands, and then you can kind of set up with the command grab, or, you know, set up your drive system with the Noel and get things going. But right now, Guzman coming in here with the Ragna hide this time. Guys playing Josuke, of course. We'll see if they stick with the team. You know, they've been playing through a heck of a bracket as well. Hunt got here by, looks like, eliminating Fishlicker 3-1. So making their way through it. Winner of this does, of course, fight loser 7 in loser quarters. So they're going to be trying to make it out of here as quick as they can.
Definitely. And Guzman, I don't know what he's thinking in terms of team compositions, but regardless, I'm sure on 520 is going to have to play it very strongly against one of SoCal's finest. Yeah, like Noel Seth. I don't know what to think about the team composition. It's got Seth on it, so I can't say it can be that bad. But in terms of well, that's hard to Kotsky. You know, he's logging in hard. But as I was saying, you know, Noel Seth, Noel being a very awkward character to have to play, has a lot of flaws, but has a lot of annoying options that if you're not super familiar with the matchup, you can really struggle to have to deal with. And having it backed up with kind of Seth assists, especially that very disgusting 5P, is going to set up a lot of spooky situations, I'm sure. But gotta get to that point first. I don't think this team has a lot of anti-heart kind of tech available to them, but I also don't know how much Guzman can play hard.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things Noah has going for it, right, is if you start seeing homing, you just immediately mash that 4B, right, and immediately letting it rip. You have the invincibility available. 2B is also a really strong option to cover air approaches, too. And again, the invincibility, it's just so strong. We're just using our drive system, and, it works. Force Guzman to adapt and kind of figure out, all right, can you get past this layer 1?
Yeah, going to be sending up the Noel pressure. Those 4Bs have been coming out here. The Seth Orb actually coming into play really nicely, but does just get hit by the 5B. And Hunter 520 has been just like throwing out drive moves, whatever, and telling Guzman, you gotta be ready for it.
This is how she wins, right? You gotta have access to the funny mix. You gotta have access to big damage available. Hunt almost or Guzman almost securing the kill, but Hunt able to escape using a DP2, trying to skip this neutral. Guzman doing the homingless heart strategy. An interesting one. We'll see if it pays off, but right now Hunt able to navigate this pressure pretty good.
Ooh, that was a very panicky burst there. Going to be resulting a kill on the Noel. But this is quite the good situation, I think, for Guzman. Please just learn how to do a combo. Like, I swear to God.
Heart's tricky, right? You gotta hit buttons a couple times, but right now, picking the Akatsuki, thinking, all right, I'm gonna pick John Chef Code over here to close things out. But Hunt able to secure with the 214C, starting this pressure back up. The assist, not quite enough to close it out. Guzman trying to make something happen here, but yeah, playing this range game, you have to respect it sometimes.
Yeah, gonna be getting that Zoner Heart that Seth is in the one-touch scenario, gets the JA hit, but not quite able to confirm there with the run-up grab. With the Kyle Kisuke going to be sealing the first game here for Guzman.
Absolutely, yeah, and found the throw counter too. So we saw Hunt just trying to escape with something, but not quite there. It was going really good for Hunt, using the drive system, using the Noel pressure. She does have access to high-low mix, so you have to be aware of what hit you're on and trying to set up that pressure. For the opponent to guess, okay, is it high or low? Some of it is canned, but the variation is also there available with your assist, so you can kind of reset that count and force your opponent to guess again.
Yes, and you saw a lot of very heavy Noel emphasized gameplay on Hunt 520's part, almost to kind of his detriment, just because like they were playing around with the Noel when their character was looking really low. And granted, they've been having the most success with them on point. It's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter how snake nasty you are. If you're playing that low, you gotta definitely conserve what you have in terms of the life. And unfortunately, a panic burst kind of sealed their fate there. But we'll see how it plays out in this game too, assuming they're able to load.
We are synchronizing. It does take a little bit, but it looks like your opponent's connection. I didn't even know I was playing apparently, but yeah, it looks like Guzman exploded this time, but that's okay. It's a PC tag moment. At least we're not getting signed out of PSN yet, although the night is still young. But yeah, like you're mentioning, Hunt playing a very Noel-fronted team, and Seth is a great character, right? Has a lot of damage options, has a lot of good pressure conversions. The orb is also really strong, so utilizing the strengths of both your characters super critical in securing sets and being able to maintain that 2v1 advantage, especially against a team like Hart Akatsuki, where once they lose their assist partner, they do struggle a little bit, right? And struggle to get things going. You can just kind of up back and push that pressure on them.
Yeah, definitely. And considering the experience that Guzman does have with the characters, I'm sure they want to maintain the 2v2 advantage as much as possible. You're going to be starting off with the Akatsuki. I don't know if that was an intentional thing or not, but judging by the gameplay that was being showcased here, I can definitely imagine that the Akatsuki is the character they are more comfortable with. But what we're not comfortable with is apparently the ability to connect with the players.
Guess PC Tag doesn't want to see us succeed sometimes. And I just noticed we have some Uma runs going on in the corner of the stream. E30, what the hell is going on? I guess we need some entertainment in the meantime. But while we're waiting for PC Tag to fix itself, we do have a Maturino, of course. It is direct contribution only at the moment, so if you guys are able to contribute directly, it is super appreciated. Of course, there is no requirement to do so. Of course, sharing the link helps too if you're able to share it to somebody who maybe can't contribute. Of course, if you do a donation, I think minimum is $1 or something. We do read out the funny messages as long as they're appropriate, and if they're inappropriate, maybe I'll do it for you anyways, and won't be invited back.
Much appreciated to anyone who wants to donate to tonight's bracket. Got a $10 currently in there, thanks to our wonderful TO Massive Cheap, who is lamenting on the fact that they do have to pause their Uma runs in order to order a TO for this bracket. But big shout out to them as always. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna be restarting the room here. In the meantime, PC Tag.
It'd be what it do sometimes, I'm just glad our game got rolled back finally, right? It could be a Hunter x Hunter moment where it's garbage.
I mean, the rollback in this game isn't the best, I'll be honest, but it works. It lets me play with people from like places that I normally wouldn't be able to with a smooth enough connection.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are worse implementations, right? Tekken 7 is 3 being notorious, of course, but yeah, I think it's definitely helped out some of the connections that I play normally, and it's like, oh, it's just an even better experience. The quirk of don't skip intros is always funny. It's just secret matchmaking lore, I guess, or net play lore, but it works out. Looks like we do have our players starting to join back in. They're running around, having fun, playing tag, I guess. Yeah. I mean, we're playing BB tag, so just play tag in the lobby.
Yeah.
we are queuing back up, hopefully. But I don't know how I feel about this, Lon. Synchronizing.
Okay, you know, that's a bad sign. Because when you told me it was synchronizing, I wasn't even past the character select menu.
Oh, I see.
So I think it's cooked.
It may be cooked, you know.
Lon, leave the room.
Okay.
Take a Lon out of here, huh? That's, you know, it's understandable. I
And
got an idea.
I requested Discord stream. Thank you.
I gotcha. I'm synchronizing though, so.
Last time this was happening, I think it was Lon leaving the room, and then it started working.
Yeah, you know, I'm as always cursed with the PC tagisms. As many things change, my ability to curse entire tournaments never does.
Sometimes that happens. Just come on over, you know. We can yap in person, yap at each other.
I'd love to. In fact, like one of these days, we should like get the entire WNF crew in one room and just host WNF from there. I mean, we could. We all live in California.
It's true. We should host it outside of the old WNF building.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, outside in the parking lot too. We just got the stream setup set up.
Verizon 5G. We're good to go.
Yeah, you know, like I'm sure they won't mind using like us using their Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yo,
is it cooked?
Okay, so it's not me.
I bet you it's Cheap. Cheap's trying to spread propaganda.
All right. Well, we'll have them finish it off stream.
Okay. I'll get back into the game.
Yeah, but so be it. Hey, Crow, don't blame me. My connection's great. How'd you dare?
Look, two of us in this voice call have a vetted interest in not kicking Dave out of the room. That being said, it is Cheap's TOing, so as much as me and E30 want to keep our jobs, it's ultimately not up to us.
I don't feel like it's Dave. I don't feel like it's him. It might be me. Someone else hosts the room.
I paid John Arxis plenty of money to not have a bad connection. Try and host.
I think we should all just restart our games entirely.
Restart our games? Do you want me to reinstall too while we're at it? I'll restart.
That's all the bracket even more. Let's pretend like Josuke's in the bracket. All right, next match is gonna be in an hour.
Thanks, Edge. Yeah, my Steam installation does this funny thing where when I double click it, it just doesn't launch. Takes like 2 minutes. It's so funny. I love this game.
Sorry, E30. Give us an update on your Umar run.
Let's see. My Owner Top Gun is doing okay. We have 3 turns left until the RM Akinen, and I think we're looking good. Stats are they where it's supposed to be, but I'm just looking for a good roll on the Super Creek to give us a Maestro. So we're doing okay right now. We're about to go into the RM Akinen soon. We'll see how that goes.
All right, perfect. Thank you for the update. We wish you best of luck on your Mumusme run. Brought to you by Psy Games, not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor us, we put the goddamn game on the bottom left corner of the screen. I don't know, like you could pay us to do it. We could make it bigger. We could have BBTAG on the bottom left side of the screen if you want. No.
It's true. Chat, how do we feel about Goo Goo Babies? I'm just trying to get an interest check.
In the meantime, who's hosting a room?
I've got a room open right now.
Okay. All right.
I don't think Guzman's supposed to be here. Isn't he supposed to play off stream?
Well, we're gonna try this, and then we can bully him out of here.
Okay, yeah. He played Hard Ino once, and the game was like, bruh, that crap is not cooked. Come back.
It's so true.
We get an exclamation point vote kick.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me call the vote.
Let's see. We could probably check to see how many VAC bans Guzman has too, just to be sure.
Dude, I'm gonna be real. Guzman would totally have a VAC ban on record, and it'd be from some like old ass like 2006 game that like nobody plays before or plays anymore. Like, just, like God, I don't know. It's like Quake or something.
Yeah, like or like what is that Half-Life Blue Shift or something stupid like that.
Yeah, Gmod like 1.0 version or something.
True. But looks like got our players lined up in here. Cheap, are you joining or are you just gonna?
I'll sit this one out.
All right, that's good. It's all right. Oh, look at that! It's all good to go. We got our players queuing up. I don't even remember what the score is anymore.
This is not correct, by the way.
Wait, what? What is not correct?
This is not the correct match.
Oh, oops.
This isn't even the right side of the bracket.
Oh, what just happened? Okay.
I'm confused.
Okay, so we had a game going. It was not the right one. Cousin Rage quit out, which is good.
Yeah, they're supposed to play their opponent in lobby. They're supposed to finish it up, but nah, this is like I want to play BBTAG.
It looks like we do have the Renix and the Moontide coming up this time, though. I can't believe nobody simped for Goo Goo Babies in the chat. I'm never coming back, guys. Come on.
Look, man, you have like multiple like Goo Goo Baby enjoyers and like in the SoCal guild. I'm sure you can bring one of them in here, maybe even two.
Oh, Detective
They might be right.
doesn't know about the gospel. Nobody knows about the gospel of Goo Goo Babies, and y'all have been watching Uma tonight. What the hell is wrong with you guys? This is subliminal Goo Goo Babies messaging, I guess.
I guess so.
But speaking of Goo Goo Gaga, we got a kanji mirror coming up. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. We are gonna start with the Naruto on the player 2 side though, for a little bit of variety.
If you got a problem, I'll take you down too. Hell yeah! Let's get this done.
Right.
Okay.
Let's show them our strength.
We're playing the match. We're not talking about Super Creek,
Can't escape from crossing fate.
For now,
but there is a creek in the background.
there's true. I mean, I guess you could call it's a really big creek,
Yeah. All right.
which is appropriate. But anyways, yeah, Moontide is trying to, we're just seeing a lot of kanji throwing stuff out. We got the gold ship neutral too, but right now Moontide just does not want to interact with Renix at all. Just using the gunshots, using the landmines anyway necessary.
Yeah. Ooh, that could have been a very dangerous there, but able to stabilize just in time. A raw Blood Scythe going to be hitting Moontide here. Just a bunch of raw chairs. This is very interesting what I've been seeing so far, but Moontide able to stabilize it until I cursed him. Almost gets hit by the happy birthday, and this is not looking great as they will be getting burst baited. That probably kills Kanji.
Yeah, absolutely, just stabilizing there. Gonna use the command grab, using the DP just to cash out and finds the kill. Buffering with 2-2 on incoming. I like the idea, but finding the counter hit Gauntlet Hades into the kill. Cashing out all that meter. Renix gun up 1-0.
All right, yeah, that was an interesting game to say the least. It was really slow at the start, which is kind of antithetical to like how Renix and I'm sure the Moontide to some degree, despite playing like a zoner character, want to. So yeah, kind of an interesting tempo there.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it too is, once you see Renix's kanji get going, they start putting on a lot of pressure and ironically, they use the same option a lot of times, which puts in this mix of, okay, when are they going to change it? But you kind of mix it yourself, while Renix is just happy to keep doing it as long as it works. And even if it doesn't work, it's pretty safe pressure too to call in with the assist to make things going. So, of course, Moontide trying to use that Naruto point to zone things out, but Kanji is surprisingly fast for a grappler character.
Yeah. Has the best mobility options out of all the traditional grapple characters, just with those dives, and Usually that's why you kind of want to pair him with like, a character like Shirogane, who does have a really good 6P that covers a lot of space in neutral, very active as well to cover a lot of options. So can be a very threatening team to have to deal with, but we'll see if Moontime's able to kind of implement some more of that game plan here.
Birthday, but yeah, unfortunately dropped there early, and now Renek's starting off with all this pressure here, using our gold chip combos, putting on all this corners carry too. Man, that does a lot of corner carry.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, goes for the reset there with the 4A Moontime. Once again, taking quite a bit of damage, already Kanji in the red zone. This might just kill straight up. That was a blue beat too.
Yeah, blue beat. Had the option to tech out there, but just barely surviving. Setting up the overhead, but yeah, good raw tag just to avoid it.
Yeah, just smashes out at the right time there, avoiding that EX command throw setup. Nice 2B as well, puts up the wall, but unfortunately could not punish the burst. However, this is pretty even so far. No marks on Shirogane's side, so they're going to need to make quite a bit of hits on this Ragnar in order to bring him down, but sets up the zoning game plan, runs straight into the traps as well, and a nice air going to be allowing Moontime to retake the advantage here in this game.
That's a lot of meter available too, so can set up a mark. Going for the kick reversal here on the punish. And gonna be able to find this hit, and should be able to get the kill too. Yeah, just gonna cancel into the super just to confirm it. And Moontide really in control in this game too.
Yeah, just continuing all the pressure here. Has a chance to set up lane blockable, and there it is. No push block available. First unblockable of the night going to be sealing out game 2 here for Moontide.
Good recognition too, and setting up that unblockable. It's really scary, especially with one character. You have the push block available, but you gotta worry about the DP at time too. So the Moontide able to secure that, tying it up 1 apiece. And really, it was just kind of a matter of like winning interactions initially, right? Like Moontide was doing a really good job of playing the keep away game and just kind of setting up the zoning pressure. There was that moment too where they had a lot of traps on screen and Ragna just trying to find a way in, but unfortunately getting blown up by him. So as long as Moontide can kind of maintain that pressure and that distance, they should be able to secure it. But Renek's, of course, slouch, able to navigate a lot of these weird scenarios and zoner-based characters too we've seen.
Yeah, I'll take you on. Next time you want to challenge a man to a fight, look him in the eye. Hell yeah!
We got this must die in the background too.
I can't hear music, so you tell me.
Oh, good. Yeah, I guess it is must die. So enjoy for those of you who do have the music. But right now, Renek's able to get this first big interaction, setting up a lot of good pressure here and maintain this corner too.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit of that weird hit there on the DP. Kind of prevented a full confirm. A nice backdash, which stays completely in the corner. I didn't even see what was going on, but a burst coming out to save Shirogane's life. A nice cross-up block as well. Moontide still kind of in it and hits the anti-air command throw as well, but drops the combo, allowing Moontide, or allowing Renix to get a hit of their own.
Renek's able to secure this route here with the Ragna baiting the DP, able to punish the DP appropriately too. Doesn't have a lot of meter available to get a kill, but does have cross combo, so hopefully going to be able to try to build up some extra meter or set up something to go into cross raid and get the kill.
Yeah, tried for an air blockable DP reset there, but able to give Redix a bit of a taste of their own medicine there with that raw command grab. And we'll be marking the Ragna too. This is very pivotal. Can be very risky too, as they are keeping them in. That should be dead here, but they do not finish the plate, and Redix going to be getting away with murder here.
Does have assist available to punish, does have burst as an option. Cross combo is now here. Oh, but unfortunately the Lightning able to call out the burst, but not quite dead yet. Moontide survives.
Yeah, Gwace up with a command grab super, but a swing and a miss as Moontide will be coming in. Thankfully, does still have that mark on the Ragnar here, but not going to be making use of it here. Moontide going to be going down another game.
Unfortunately, the EX kick there missing in the air and able to punish appropriately. Renix going up in advantage 2-1. It was really close too. Moontide having some things going. We saw that first mark finally, I think, of the whole tournament series too. And so threatening the into death. Almost had the hit, but just an unfortunate drop. Just got to clean those up and might see a swing at things.
Get ready.
And yeah, those marks can be really starting to have to deal with, but it is something that a lot of Shirogane players actually don't necessarily opt to go for. It is a 2-meter investment, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it also comes with pretty hefty tempo disadvantage as well. So it is something that a lot of the more advanced Shirogane players opt to be a bit more sparing with, but it is nonetheless a very threatening thing you have to deal with. So we'll see how this plays out here. They're going to be getting a bit of a cross up there with the kanji, and gets grabbed for their own troubles though.
It's able to navigate that pressure too. Naoto with the gunshots, not enough to slow down Renix. Has the corner too, and going for DP assist. You don't see that too often anymore, ever since the change, but Moontype able to find a way out of it and find these hits.
Yeah, wakes up with the DP, and just in time was able to get the anti-air command throw as well as the cross combo here. And he's gonna go in and Devoured by Darkness to get a good chunk of health back on the Ragna.
Finds the Gauntlet Hades, but a burst, able to save them here. Setting up Hamaon too, just for additional block string pressure. Finds the cross up low this time too. So Moontide now pushing Renix into the corner.
Yeah, interesting enough, not going to be opting for any unblockable shenanigans. We'll be leaving the kanji a little hurting here. Almost killed him off there. Just needed to go into one super, but sure, Renix is happy about them still surviving. Descends down with the JA in order to catch the Ragna. Doesn't look like they're going to be opting for a mark here, and just goes in with the super to kill him off. That's looking pretty great for Moontide.
Able to reverse this game here, and you know that last little series of doing the reset, same side setup, really critical. But Renix not out of it yet. Has resonance, gonna have 2 meters to blow through any sort of pressure, but Moontide very healthy right now.
Yeah, an excellent assist call, going to be avoiding that 5P. No meter available to go into a kill, but this might be a checkmate situation if they're able to go into unblockable. Does not actually opt for it, but still regardless keeps up the pressure. And push in a little bit of it.
Yep. Able to find the hit too, and now Renix trying to chase down. Good avoidance on the dive this time. And Renix playing this really patient, but unfortunately, yeah, just gonna get opened up by buttons there. Moontide tying it up, 2-2, wanting to go the distance.
For sure, and like, yeah, that's a kind of a perfect example of just like the momentum you can gain from having that 2-point advantage. Just like Moontide, you know, it took them a while to actually kill off that kanji, but the additional amount of pressure they were able to implement against Renix's characters while they had those assists available, and just threatening the idea of an unblockable as well is really good for them, especially for any kanji team composition. You pretty much never want to have kanji solo. He has a lot of options that can come off as like really scary, but if you play your cards right, it's really difficult for him to like approach you and like really maintain pressure. So if the tides go in Moontide's favor, it's going to be really hard for Renix to have to deal with.
And right now, Moontide able to get this first big interaction. One of the things that's really been going in their favor too is just having that better meter economy, right? Choosing not to push block a lot of this pressure a lot of times, and just trying to rely on good solid defense. This 3-1 scenario for this meter count is super critical, but Renix still able to get these hits here.
They're putting Moontide's kanji in a relatively low area, and that's a clash there, but does not actually stop the animation for the chair super. Tries to go in for the EX command grab, but just gets hit by the 4P of her own, giving Renix back the advantage.
Gauntlet Hades, there's getting a couple blue beat combos too, thinking maybe a reset's coming. Able to punish the Gauntlet Hades this time. Can't get away with it forever though.
Oh, the DP straight out. Just try to swipe away the kanji before any shenanigans befall Shirogane here. They are looking really low, however. Does go for the throw bait, but not able to confirm into a kill. Going to be bringing in the kanji of their own. And this is quite dangerous here for Renix with that swap.
Just trying to find a way to safely get out. Still calling these assists anyways, trying to maybe close something out and go into a raw tag. Oh, baits the DP, but no punish there, unfortunately, and able to kill off the kanji.
Yeah, oh, wakes up with a command grab super. That is the Gauntlet Hades here. going to be getting a nice chunk of damage here on the Kanji, going to be restoring that life and giving them a bit more of an advantage. And with that throw, it's now a 1v1 advantage, very much in Renix's favor.
Yeah, but of course you can't count out. Moontide does have access to instant kill. Going to be going into a safe resonance by using the Hamaon. Has 2 meters, but this blood side able to snipe Moontide out. Has plenty of meter, going to cash out. He's going to take it 3-2 over Moontide, eliminating Moontide.
Yeah, that was a relatively close game, all things considered, despite what the health total of Ragda might suggest, unfortunately. Kind of fell apart a little bit there when they had the 2v1 advantage and could not make great utilization of it. But regardless, yeah, going to be a very close set between the two. Renix will be moving on to the next side of the bracket.
Yeah, and you know, that 2v1, we've talked about it a couple times. It is a great position to be in, but if you're cornered against somebody who has really good high-low mixed potential like Ragna, sometimes that advantage doesn't matter at all. You can try to go for up back 4P, but even then, you know, some of the characters that you have, like, you know, it's Naoto, not the best 4P available to kind of challenge that pressure. But, you know, Renix able to kind of show off, hey, I don't need 2 characters at times. Looks like Guzman is joining back. I have to imagine maybe they did win their set against Hunt. Look, 3-2 it looks like. They're going to be fighting Loser 7 coming up next.
Yeah, and interesting enough, they're still on the Hardakovsky team comp. So they were able to take the dub with it. I don't know what they're feeling against Loser, but they made it this far. I'm sure that they're not going to stop with whatever gimmick they're going on with this tournament, just trying to cosplay as whoever. But yeah, you know, Guzman, always a wild card in terms of the character choices, going against Loser 7, who has been very consistent here with this Yosuke Seth composition. I'm wondering if they're going to pick something they feel very comfortable fighting with Yosuke, or if they're just going to spin the wheel once again.
Yeah, you know, Loser did end up going down to Sonic-kun 3-0. Of course, Sonic-kun's heart is definitely of a different caliber that we saw, at least on stream, from what Guzman was representing, but could be hiding some secret techniques, maybe to kind of force Loser into thinking, oh, I'll be fine. But Guzman still hasn't changed off this team, so we might actually see the commitment. It is first to 3, of course, so you can play around with the game if you really feel like it. Looks like, nah, we're going to the Ragna Ruby, the classic, tried and true.
Yeah, and one of the team compositions that was run by our favorite scrub, Yo Fave Scrub, the kind of premier star of SoCal BBTAG. However, these are 2 characters that Guzman is relatively familiar with. So in terms of like stuff we're going to see them implement, this is going to probably be the best that they're going to implement so far.
Well, they're even picking the scrub colors too. I respect the commitment to the cosplay, but right now, Loser 7 able to find this first big hit, but a 4P able to challenge pretty well for Guzman.
Yeah, swaps over into the Ruby here and actually somehow managed to stabilize this happy birthday. Ruby buttons, what could I say? Absolutely ridiculous. Going to be a nice chunk of damage on both characters. Imagine they go into the Carnage Scissors. Yeah, maximize not only the damage and also the life gain, and goes up with a throw. This could just spell doom for Yosuke if there is a stabilized, optimized combo.
It's 2 meter available, gonna call the assist just to make sure. Oh, an unfortunate 5BB whiff there. Able to punish and survive just barely. Loser 7 trying to make something happen. Finds the hit into the cross combo. Into a reset, no less. And just gonna cash out early. Doesn't learn to deal with burst pressure or anything like that. So Loser 7 still not out of it yet. Ragna looking a little unhealthy, but is able to heal back a bunch of life.
Yeah, but brings it straight into the Ragna. Nice tech on the throw and a good match with the 5B. Going to be catching Guzman here. Yeah, just jumps away. Not going to keep it all meaty as Guzman is in the air trying to control that space.
Having these big buttons and big challenging, you know, one of the things that's really helping out Guzman too in this matchup is that Ruby buttons do hit both sides too in the air. So able to challenge a lot of moonsault pressure regardless of where Yosuke is and what part of moonsault. Oh, but unfortunate drop on the assist, not quite enough to get the kill, but just barely able to clutch it out there against that V-Slash.
Yeah, oh, hits the JC, but not able to confirm it into anything. Brings back in the Ruby and does hit the overhead. Has that 4 bars available, slowly building that CC bar as well. Might not need it here with the Devoured by Darkness into the Ruby Super because that is a single target DHC, and looking like Loser 7 will be going down to Guzman game 1.
Guzman dealing with about half life left. I do want to point out how sick that stabilization on the happy birthday was. Guzman's awareness to just not continue the normal air combo and just go right into Bloodsight, or I'm sorry, into Buzzsaw to confirm, like, okay, I can stabilize this in a happy birthday and get things going. Like, super sick awareness, you know, first game 1 to in a game, first 3.
Yeah, definitely. And this is you know, we didn't talk about it earlier while we were playing Ruby, but Ruby is like pretty much their main character, I would say, alongside the Yang. So any team composition that has her on it is going to be significantly bolstered in terms of the team comfort aspect. And combining it with the Ragnar, who's just a strong fundamental character, like as we've seen before in the past, this team goes a long way as long as you're good with it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really strong, has a lot of good damage opportunities too. Both characters do have the potential to just catch out large chunks of damage. And right now, Gustin's just really navigating this neutral, saying, I don't want to interact with Yosuke if I don't have to, unless it's on my terms. So right now, looks like Losers have able to get this first big hit.
Yeah, but unfortunately that cross combo wasn't exactly the tightest there, allowing Loser to get out, but Loser keeping up all the pressure.
Right now, again, Gustin just kind of going back to this neutral gameplay, recognizing, hey, you know, I can play this neutral game a little better. I do have projectile available. You know, Set does too, but it's more delayed and more like an assist, if anything. So right now, setting up the funny mix, cross up, but the DP gonna get punished this time. Loser 7 might be able to have enough here to cash out or go into a funny reset to get the kill.
Yeah, brings back in the Ragna, however, does not stabilize the happy birthday, so she will still be living here. Very pivotal there for Guzman. Yeah, tries to go in for some snashy moonsault scenarios in the corner there, and does push block at the right time in order to punch that 5AA from Ragna.
Again, really good routing here by Loser 7, just trying to maintain this pressure, has the assist available. Guzman does have 4 meters and cross combo available, so anything could happen. Yosuke, low life character too, so could have just be 1 or 2 hits to change the tide. Carnage Scissors Raw, and luckily the Persona was out to stop things a little bit early, plus on whiff at times.
Definitely playing again, once again with the Ruby, a very risky proposition, but a risk that it looks like they're willing to make here. Unfortunately, runs in straight into the orb as Guzman will be going down, left with the solo Ragnar once again. We're in Rampage time, but even though we are hitting that point, of feeling like Loser 7 going to stop it before it gets too crazy, as they will be kicking game 2.
Up there, Guzman, you know, the stare down, sometimes you just think, okay, throw's coming because I haven't blocked anything, but good awareness of Loser 7 to just kind of backdash and wait for the punish there. You know, you have to imagine too, now that it's tied up, is Guzman going to go back to their main team? They have played Ruby, Ragna quite a bit in the past too, so they're competent with this team, but is it enough to kind of go through Loser 7's really strong offense, really good routing, and tricky setups?
Yeah, like, in terms of the neutral, like, Ruby deals with Yosuke and Seth perfectly fine, but I can imagine just, like, there's some desperation on Ragnar's side in order to, like, kind of pin him down. We're seeing Guzman do a lot of just, like, kind of super jump forward JB in order to like, kind of catch Yosuke in the skies, but not necessarily the best thing in the world. And yeah, we're going to be swapping over to the Yang Ruby just for some character comfort. I'm sure in terms of the matchup, it's not necessarily favorable either way on the Ragna or Yang side of things, but this is the main squeeze. So just wants to put their best foot forward, and we'll see how they go here in this game 3.
I mean, both Yang and Ragna, at least on paper against Yosuke, are very similar in their pressure, right? They both have this kind of forward aggression, more grounded base. They do have some air buttons to challenge, but one thing Yang does have going for her is a better projectile to kind of control neutral, but it's not really being a factor right now. Loser controlling this corner really well and putting Yang down to half life already.
Goes for the fake cross up there. Not going to be allowing Yang to pop the semblance, but this will be a happy birthday stabilization here. And I think Loser's going to be very happy about that, as the Yang will be going down before her. She's a really big threat.
Yeah, but of course, Ruby is also really strong in this matchup. You know, we saw the JB multiple times, able to stabilize really well in the air and challenge a lot of things. Good awareness of Guzman to just kind of maintain that pressure and not be worried about these fireballs. Using the resonance to not have to block anything and finding the hit finally against Luther.
Yeah, you know, if you ever know anything about Ruby players, you give them an inch and they will definitely take a mile against you, Loser 7. And if be careful in this corner, depending on the hit, this could be spelling doom for him, and it looks like that overhead check is going to be it. Just barely enough time with the Resonance Call, and this is suddenly a much more stable game here for Guzman.
Now life totals are pretty similar, right? Of course, Yosuke, a lower life character, but meter's definitely in the favor of Loser, but finding that counter hit super critical for Guzman to turn things around and gonna be maintaining this advantage.
Ooh, a nice moonsault there, but even though the Loser 7 was able to get the hit on that, not able to get the full stabilization, gonna be able to pop the Resonance, only level 3, so no threat of Astral, which is actually kind of a big deal here. Gets the swipe out there. That was the longest freaking JC I've ever seen in my life, and I think he might be winning off that. That was insane.
So I honestly, it made me think of Michael Jordan's Space Jam for that last dunk. I was just like, that was so far. But able to find the hit, Guzman going up in advantage 2-1. There's Loser 7.
That was a straight up like half court slam dunk. Oh, that was insane there, but Guzman able to keep it stable there, kind of proving not only that he has a very competent Solar Ruby, but also kind of the instability that Loser 7 team does have. Double 16k characters, kind of proving to be a huge detriment there towards the end there. Like that interaction where they hit the overhead against the Seth, that might have led to a 17k health character or even more surviving that combo. So they got to be very careful when it comes to the defensive side of things. Like this team has pretty nasty neutral. It's just on advent of like what it has available and pretty good pressure overall. But that defensive, the defensive option both characters have, not the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, one thing Loser 7 did do good is just like tag the Yang when appropriate. The happy birthday is super critical and good routing to be able to kill the character, not even dealing with semblance. So in this game 4 coming up here, that could be a deciding factor too, to see how well they navigate that. Can they repeat that and make sure the Yang just doesn't get anything going? Of course, Ruby, I think, is the stronger character in this matchup in particular, but Yang, you know, having that 18k character is still a viable option.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big source of damage once the semblance has been popped too, which can definitely put in quite the hurting for losers characters. So gotta be careful, like being I guess yeah, you also have to be careful about winning too hard. You gotta temper to the point where you don't want to pop the semblance too early into the game, or you at least want to, like, if you get to that point, you just gotta get her out quickly. So it's definitely a fine balance overall.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we're just doing a quick tech things, making sure that the connections are all good here. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for Loser to join back in, we do have a match arena available to directly donate to. So, of course, no obligation to donate to, but we are very much appreciative if you do donate. I think the minimum's $1, and if you add a comment to it, you're, of course, always welcome to say funny things in there, and we'll have to say it. It's contractually obligated, but at least from Cheap. Me, not so much. I might say it anyways, just for the fun. But yeah, and if you're not able to donate, no sweat. Sharing the link, of course, helps. All the donations, of course, go directly to the players. It doesn't go to us or the TOs or anything like that.
For sure. All right, yeah, sorry, not Moontide. Loser 7 will be resetting their game. It looks like they're back in, and they're immediately getting back into it.
Yeah, maintaining the team selection. Of course, Loser 7 making it this far with the Yosuke Seth. I don't know if they have a lot of other characters available. It's also not particularly like a bad matchup either. Ruby's a strong character, but she's definitely beatable and has weaknesses. But we'll see with this Yang round start to see if there's going to be any sort of adjustments. Immediately going to that zoning gameplay that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and gets slapped by the Yosuke moonsault. An excellent stabilization there with the orb. Very smart of Loser 7.
Right now, the moonsault does steal corner there and finding these hits. Things are going really well in Loser 7's favor, but Gus not out of it yet. Has a pretty healthy Yang, of course. Just going to try to find a way out. Using the gunshot is always a good way.
Does bring in the Yang, but will be getting hit immediately. Thankfully, it's just been a battle of 1,000 cuts here as Guzman's character is looking relatively healthy overall. And the armor able to go through all that. No lows available there for the Seth. And here we go with the corner game here. Gets the overhead check, but not able to bait out the burst, allowing Loser 7 to kind of get out. But the Beezy Buzzsaw active swap going to be a nice stabilization here for Guzman.
Finding the hit on the flash combination, the command grab working this time. You know, in Loser 7's favor, able to navigate this. Life lead is not too much in Loser 7's favor, but has a lot of resources on both sides.
Yeah, and goes in for the cheeky command throw here. Gets the hit into the super. Not going to kill Yosuke just quite yet, but will be putting him into the pretty low health zone. That is not the place you want to burst out. Thankfully for Guzman, only a 5P starter and no stabilization. That still would have been a kill, but the moonsault's coming in clutch as Loser's going to be getting a kill on both characters here, actually.
Unfortunately, that 4P from Ruby just barely missing the Yosuke there. Really critical moment for Guzman, but Loser 7 able to tie it up 2-2. Going to game 5 here, you know, a lot of that was just very Yosuke-oriented pressure, able to find those moonsaults in the corner, super critical, but also for Guzman too, they're starting to notice that JC is really cashing out a lot of damage and able to open up Loser 7, so we're starting to see that adjustment too. Loser 7 just holding up, doesn't want to avoid, doesn't want to get hit by that high, so if you can air block it, it's always preferred, right?
Definitely, and like Guzman, every time he has lost a game, he has thought about swapping characters. You know, being objective here, I don't think there's any reason he needs to swap out the Yang Ruby. But yeah, it's Guzman. He does whatever he wants.
We might see something really strange, like I don't even know what a weird character for Guzman would be at this point. Maybe the cat and a Blitz Tank or something. I don't know.
Maybe he could play like Hakumen Platinum.
That is Platinum. Okay.
That is a team. It has sauce. We saw that team before in the ratio bracket, and it's like I don't know how it works, but it is a weird team. Okay, you know what? He's just being cringe.
Okay. He's picking I don't even know whose team is this. What Monkey 4012 team version 2.02 or something like that. But
this is the Sykes 02 team. Moderator here at
I see.
Just slaps in the Beast deal. He in fact does know how to press the button.
True. He does have a pulse. He's finding these hits here and setting up the BZO immediately. But, you know, Yosuke does have a lot of air action, so able to avoid those BZOs and not really have to respect it. And again, just those V-slashes coming down, able to challenge really well.
Yeah, tries to go over the grab, but gets hit by a moonsault in turn. Not able to stabilize that raw hit. He's been playing relatively aggressive here. But, oh, unfortunately there, just got hit by the burst. And yeah, Guzman's Adachi looking quite low. Brings him in still, able to stabilize the combo. This is still not looking great for Loser.
Right now, Guzman cashing out all this meter available too, trying to get this hit and the corner carry. Could set up for a JC to kill. Could be scary, trying to go for a throw, but Loser 7 able to escape. Oh, just kidding, the gunshot's able to close it out on that character.
But
oh,
yeah,
now we're down to the 1v1.
Yeah, there is an Astral available for Ruby here, but they might not need it here, as if there is a bit of a stabilization and some meter dump for this combo. It might kill, but not quite yet. Going to be putting the 1-2 scenario, the 2A going to be able to take it. Guzman taking this set 3-2 against Loser 7.
You know, good awareness of Guzman to change up the pressure, right? I assume the JC, you know, we saw it work many times throughout this set, and finally going for that 2A low to close it out when you need it the most. Good awareness. Guzman going to be moving on 3-2, just barely eliminating Loser 7. Going to be fighting Renix here in Loser semifinals. But I think we're going to have, are we going to have winners finals up first?
I believe so, yeah.
Yep, so we'll have Sonic-kun versus Bumba Chunga coming up here. They've been waiting ever so patiently. Much appreciated, gamers. But we've seen this matchup many times before, right? A lot of times it does go in Sonic-kun's favor, but, you know, Bumba Chunga have been playing really well. Maybe hitting that net play too in the meantime, while Sonic-kun, we've seen him in the chat a bit. Trying to just hang out, enjoy the games.
Yeah, you know, it's been a while since they've gotten to play up here in the stream, but sure, nonetheless, they are ready and raring to go to see who gets to take it and gets that big advantage by getting on the winner's side of Rans.
Of course, you know, all games are first to three, so you don't need that clarification. But this first to three matters too, because then you get to sit in that the winner's side. You know, we do have the bracket reset option available too in the grand finals, but I have to imagine players don't want to play through 6 games minimum of BBTAG. They want to end it as quick as possible. Of course, Bumbachunga locking in the Labris Jin of area. I mean, both these teams, you know, they kind of got an ice character and then a weirdo character, right?
Is S an ice character?
I don't know. Kretzer kind of blue, right? And that's ice.
I guess so. I don't know. I always thought like S's crest were like glass.
Well, I mean, if you told a toddler glass looked like ice, they'd probably believe it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, what do you put in a glass? Put ice.
Yeah. I mean, you could put glass in ice. That would just be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I mean, some people they do those cool like ice statues, right? And you got the ice cup, and you put the glass in there instead. But yeah,
Anyways.
well, I'm trying over here. I'm trying really hard. But we got our winner finals coming up here. Players locked in, got their characters selected.
All right. Definitely up to Bumbachunga here to prove that they can stay in this matchup. Definitely going to be Sony-kun going to start off here with getting that 6P hit and the reset there with the charge 2B. Not going to be able to confirm, but that is a happy birthday question mark.
Fortunately, Heart has some goofy stabilization. Oh, just barely avoiding the super, the 2-meter spot dodge, I guess. I don't know, but we're going to be using Crossray to get the kill anyways. Bumbachunga already down the Jin. But Jin's strong character, has resonance, only level 2. We'll just get that interaction pretty okay, though.
Yeah. Yeah, wakes up with the not Hotenjin, the freaking super. Gets the DP2. That is a decent amount of meter on deck here for Sony-kun, but I think Bumbachunga is going to get another chance at life at the very least. I know I lied to you. Jesus Christ, that did a lot of damage.
Yeah, dog kick super's pretty strong as an option, but you know, Sonic-kun really shown kind of the mastery of their characters and their team composition, recognizing, okay, I can definitely kill here. Quick first game, too. A lot of that came down to that weird interaction of doing super into super. Of course, Bumbachunga trying to hold the super to bait Sonic-kun into doing something silly, and they did, but it worked out in Sonic-kun's favor.
Get ready.
Ooh, you know, I saw Bumbachunga in the chat say a little while ago they haven't really taken a set off Sony-kun in a while, so it's gonna be definitely a rough matchup because of how much they've gotten to play with each other. The adaptations that Sony-kun has probably made against Bumbachunga playstyle has kind of outpaced Bumbachunga, but you know, never over until it's over here. But unfortunately, looking a little rough here for Sony-kun as they will be getting hit by that overhead check.
Now Bumbachunga shown, even if the matchup difference is gone in Sonic-kun's favor, maintaining this pressure is really good. Sonic-kun able to just barely escape with the burst, but finding the hit anyways.
Yeah, you know, like Bumbachunga making some quite good adaptations here, but a nice block on the overhead, going to be avoiding a potential blow up there with our red axe. Nice throw as well. Sony-kun going to be returning back their momentum here as this S combo will be leading into the corner position and with the unreactable overhead.
Starting high, expecting a burst, but you know, Bumbachunga good awareness to not burst, recognizing, okay, my character's very low life. Just let Labris take the hits if needed. Labris coming back in.
Yeah, just playing a very zoning heavy game here with the S. Finds a safe opportunity to bring in the Heart. Looking quite low on that character, but the Heart going to be bringing down the pain here on the Labris and going to be probably killing the Jin here with this combo. Doesn't even need to spend any meter.
Oh yeah, that Jin was dead for a long time. Full help. But you know, now Bumbachunga trying to navigate this sandwich scenario, able to find their way out. green axe, though, going down to blue, and Sonic-kun taking all this damage here. Not quite dead yet, but going to be a lot of damage and a mix-up to deal with.
Yeah, blue beat combo, however, just trying to bait out a DP or whatever. The 4P coming in very clutch there for Sonic-kun as they go in for the kill. Going up 2-0, but Bomochunga definitely firing back a lot more.
Yeah, and you know, Sonic-kun really playing to the strengths of the 2v1, especially against a character like Labras who has very linear pressure. You know, you can use the EX chain knuckle, right, to try to get in and make something happen, but just doing air dash back 4P, utilizing your invincibility with back homing, just super critical to kind of play out that that advantage that you have. Right now, Sonic-kun 2-0 right now.
Yeah, looking to make it a very clean sweep in terms of the winner's side of the bracket. But Bomochunga still in it for sure. We'll see how this game 3 goes here.
Starting off with the 2B charge, but gonna be able to find this first corner here into a throw. Sonic-kun been able to land a couple throws here.
I'm going for the good old slippy slide mix and putting Labras in that red health position. Jaden will be popping out, so there is not going to be any safe calls here. Kind of surprised about how defensively Sonic-kun decided to play that CC sequence. Just decided to play on the full side of the screen, but he's coming back in and just gets DP'd for his troubles.
See the Toga come out there, just take a little bit of chip, but yeah, Sonic-kun just not quite able to stabilize anything. Weird interaction there with the Particle Punch, but Sonic-kun able to cash out a lot of damage here available against this DP punish. Has 4 meter. Gonna go for the super. Which I think is enough to kill. This is a single hit DHC. Absolutely.
Solid 11k here, bringing it into Solo Labras, level 1 Resonance against 2 very full health characters. That's going to be rough to have to deal with, especially with that combo drop. Another DP available, just slowly draining away Bomochunga's life and expecting some type of DP response there, but Bomochunga keeping all patient, but drops the combo, but actually opts for the reset. That's Red Axe, that should kill, yeah. Nice solid 13k.
Oh, you got to deal with the problem. We're down to Blue Axe. And again, Sonic-kun just blocking it out, recognizing, okay, Resonance level 1, not a big deal. Just wait for the overhead. We're in Relish Axe now, but good tech from Sonic-kun, has plenty of life to play with.
Yeah, 4P coming in, just playing really patiently. It's just like, it's up to Bomochunga to make some type of hit come out available and gets the throw bait as well. Bomochunga keeping it chill here with the Solo Labras comeback. Gets into that max axe zone 2 and goes in for the cross up. Builds up the meters, looking like Bomochunga's able to make that Solo Labras comeback happen. No, not quite.
Sonic-kun down to a pixel of health. There is no chip out. Has 4 meter. Blocks the DP. And Sonic-kun gonna be able to take it 3-0 over Bomochunga. Oh, what a heartbreaker.
Man, that was so close for Bomochunga, but unfortunately could not root into a more damaging Labras route. Had to just squeeze out all the damage there, and that wasn't it. Unfortunately, had to panic there at the end. A very good attempt from Bomochunga, but unfortunately will still be falling 3-0 to Sonic-kun, who will be moving on to the winner's side of Grand Finals.
Yeah, they had like all the guesses right on that series there in the corner, right? Baiting the throw, going for the highs, and just like able to challenge a lot of Sonic-kun's tendencies. But Sonic-kun's able to clutch up and just really defend well. And, you know, even with that 1 bit of life, it's enough. You have the backdash, or I'm sorry, the back homing to kind of blow through any sort of pressure too and go for punish. But, you know, just barely enough to clutch it out. Sonic-kun gonna be waiting on Grand Finals. But we got Guzman versus Renix coming up next. Guzman been going through the roster of characters, almost seeming like they're pressing random select. But of course, Renix we've been seeing a lot tonight, right? With the Kanji Ragna.
Yeah, definitely haven't seen them swap off this team ever. Gonna just rocking in with the character comfort. As always, Guzman has been on something, but you know, he's here in the top 4 for a reason, just with some very solid prey overall, even regardless of what character he has available. So there are multiple options here. He can like be like, you know what, I want a little bit of money. He wants to lock in that top 3 position. He can play the main team, or he commits to the bid.
I know Guzman, and bro loves bits. I hope that means he's playing Batista, but I don't think I've ever seen him play Batista. He's got a nice Magneto, and in my opinion, they're the same character. They both got a laser.
Does Batista have an 8-way hover dash?
I mean, kind of in uni, right? She's got the BC float and does things. Batista's, Jade, they're 5B kind of looks like Magneto 4 heavy, so I don't know, they're the same basically. But nah, it looks like Guzman's gonna lock in the main squeeze with the Angry Bee.
Yeah, he wants that. Let's see here. Guaranteed like 10% of tonight's pot. I can't do math. I believe. Yeah, that's $1. He has chosen that he wishes to have $1 instead of $2 tonight.
He's 2/3 of the way to a Costco Glizzy, so I think he believes in the dream.
You know what? Yeah, he wants that $1.50 hot dog and a drink combo.
A good value even in 2025 times, but we're getting into it. Renix versus Guzman. Renix starting off really strong with a reset.
Yeah, ooh, does not punish the air throw there. She is in the air, I believe. Yeah, okay. And we're not able to actually get the full confirm, though.
I like the utilization of projectile to deal with the Persona approach. Jumping obviously very dangerous, but it's not going to pay out well for Guzman. Renix able to get the reset into the kill, eliminating Yang really early.
And eliminating the connection stability here, but Guzman has made a pretty nice solo Ruby comeback in the past here, but Renix just trying to prevent something from happening. Once again, stabilizing into a crazy happy birthday, but thankfully, Ragnar will be following up. Kind of putting Renix in the one-touch zone. With the throw bait, that should be it.
On the hit, going into this mid-screen pressure too on incoming could be a challenge. Going for the Resonance just as the safe option. Recognizing that Guzman goes for the high a lot, finding the Carnage Scissors in response. Renix looking really healthy here.
Tech on the throw here. Guzman keeping it all aggressive, and actually that was an air throw, so actually going to be able to block that, and going to be a nice solid 9k on the Ragnar. Going to be putting it into a probably 1-2 touch to the area zone, 1 touch probably at this point, and the DP bait going to be allowing Renix to take it all back here in this game 1.
Very scary scenario, could have went either way, but good patience on Renix. We saw, a lot of aggression from both players, and then just go for the pause to see, okay, somebody's going to BC. I'm sorry, going to DP. BC super. I guess they could have gone for throw too, but yeah, good awareness. But of course, Guzman not out of it yet. Is picking their main team, but maybe they're just using this for data. Now we're going right back into it. Of course, you have to. You have to.
Yeah. If he's going to commit it from to the start, he's probably going to end with it here, and overall, the Yang really didn't get to play out that much, but the Solar Ruby is a pain in the ass for a lot of characters to have to deal with, and Guzman was just really at the inch of victory. Unfortunately, could not quite seal the deal.
Unfortunately, Yang got eliminated pretty early too, so didn't get a whole lot of options to play. So, playing with only one character in a match is a challenge, but we're starting off with a little less chaotic round start. And Yang just trying to make something happen. We're going to get scooped out of the sky regardless.
Going to be spending some of the cash in order to confirm the stabilization there, but drops the combo. Guzman recognizing the situation and just firing back with the punch of their own, and the empty jump low too. Yeah, Renix is going to be put quite in a uncomfortable situation here.
Man grab finally hits. I don't think we've seen much of that all tournament, but finds the punish on the burst too. Guzman's looking really strong in this game too. Has a lot of resources available. Cross combo is an option too to get set up. But just gonna find the cross up instead.
I can third it a kill on either character. That was a really disgusting cross up, and that is not the place you want to burst out here, as Ragnar will be going down. Conchi left bleeding.
Baiting the DP with the double jump there. Good awareness from Guzman. Guzman gonna be taking a quick game 2, tying up the count. Pretty healthy characters on both sides. Turns out when you play with 2 characters, things go well.
It's true. And in my team fighting game, having 2 characters in which the team is consisting of getting to play with each other is indeed ideal.
Yeah. I mean, if you could pick double Seth, that'd be even better, right? You'd have 4 characters.
Dude, I'm convinced you could have like 5. You could put up an orb
Get ready.
and then like swap out and then 6p to put up another orb.
Oh, true. Yeah, and then you just got nerds on screen. But we're getting into it. Game 3 here. Of course, gonna be sticking with the same teams, it seems. So, I have to imagine it's gonna be going the whole distance like this, like you mentioned. Guzman really showing some good adaptations there in that game too. We'll see if they can carry it through and maintain that pressure.
Alright. I have no idea what happened, and I definitely got hit, but Guzman bursting out at the wrong time there and going in for the sandwich setup, but the armor coming in very much clutch.
Yeah, very helpful, but unfortunately, Yang, again, really low life. Not going to die this time. I burned, ready for the setup this time, but the throw coming out anyways, has burst available. I'd be scared to burst here, but oh, just barely escaping. Finding that JC2, Michael Jordan getting these hits.
Yeah, they gotta be careful about calling Yang even on this Oki setup because like one good DP could really spell doom for her. Gonna be getting some nice damage there on the Kanji.
Finding that blood scythe too. Uh-oh, there's that Yang you were talking about. Almost dead, but just barely hanging in there by a thread. Not a lot of life for Guzman here, and Renix playing to that advantage, just camping it out, saying, what are you gonna do? Finding that low and killing the Yang too.
Yeah, popping the resonance here. Oling level 3 tries to go for the phone steal. That is the phone stealer right there. I would hope he wouldn't fall for that, but Guzman going to be getting a nice chunk of damage here on the Ragnar. Once again, we're in that solo Ruby situation, and he might thrive, get the throw bait as well. And this is a very similar situation we saw in game 1. Let's see if he's able to make the comeback though.
Total's about even. There is level 4 resonance on Renix's side, but finding the low this time. Guzman looking really strong, has 4 meter. Not going to be enough to kill, but taking this corner is always critical to have. DP is available, has super available. Resonance here, going for the double jump and finding the anti-air hit in the kill. Guzman going up 2-1.
Yeah, just able to prove that the Ruby is never out when she's still up there. Does this very surprising amount of damage for a quote-unquote low damage characters. Like off the overhead confirms and off some DP bait, she can build up quite a bit of damage with the bar. So even though Ruby's average is pretty low, you always have to be careful about getting checked by either a DP bait or even hell that overhead. So yeah, he's been proving kind of one of the biggest strengths that Ruby does have over a lot of characters in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out meter is pretty good in doing damage, right? And especially with some of these skills Ruby's has, right? It changed the scaling pretty good in terms of priority scaling. So it's a lot of damage on board. Guzman going up 2-1, though. 1 game away from trying to make it here into losers finals.
Oh, it's on. You better not regret this.
Well, Ruby, you having fun?
The round start has been always pretty aggressive on both sides, and I'm not expecting anything less here. Yep, that was an interaction, all right.
Yeah, a lot of damage. I think Guzman winning that interaction. Oh, an unfortunate DP here for Renix. Gonna get punished by Guzman. Has a lot of resources, and if we route this right, this should be enough to kill. Doesn't want to go for the cross combo. Finds the punch that the person said, though.
Yeah, this is looking all Guzman here has such a distinct life lead and an advantage. Hits the empty jump low, and yeah, there's just like nothing Renix seems to be able to do in this situation. Goes into the super. This might just be a kill. Not quite, but it is one touch.
It's a DP, but yeah, Guzman able to navigate. This is a very critical situation for Renix to be in. Finds a super, but gets hit by the command grab anyways. Not quite enough to active switch out.
Yeah, that is I believe you don't have a chance to active swap during that setup, so kind of surprised about like Guzman's decision there because I don't think he was in range in order for that to be a unescapable situation. But regardless, this is still looking quite bad for Renix. That is a 2A. Kind of surprised they didn't go into a super there, but looking like they might get a punish here. No, not quite.
Sniping that persona, taking a little bit of life off, and able to punish the 2B and killing Guzman. Gonna be moving on 3-1, eliminating Renix from the tournament.
Yeah, guaranteeing that a third place position spot there. Going to be getting the dollar, potentially more. Regardless, they will be fighting Bubba Chungus in the losers final side. of the bracket. And this should, I believe, if I looked at the bracket right, yeah, this is a run back from winners quarters finals, 3-2 in Bomachunga's favor. However, considering kind of the pace that Guzman's been having here in this night, definitely beaming during those sets. Currently locked in with the main team, kind of wants to win here. I'm not sure if they're going to stick with the Yang Ruby team comp, but nonetheless, we're going to expect a very close set between these two.
Yeah, I have to imagine Guzman wants 2 hot dog combos from Costco, right? So just maintaining that team. They're still here. They've still got the main team locked in, waiting on Bumachunga to come in. But we're down to our top 3 here. And, you know, Sonokun waiting on winners final sides. We do got the Matrino, of course. If you guys are able to contribute, it is so appreciated. It's obviously not required. Even if you're not able to contribute, sharing the link always helps too. Everything does go to the players.
Yes, it's a tournament's wrapping up for the night, so this will be some of your last chances in order to get those donations in. But regardless, it's all voluntary. And thank you everyone for watching so far as we are moving on to our top 3 here for tonight.
Bumachunga, you know, Slouch here has the Labrys Jin, but Guzman here, no Ragna in sight. I think it's for the better. Their Ragna is solid, right? They have played Ragna quite a bit, but I think when you're top 3 and you're really trying to play for better placement, you got to stick with the main stuff, at least to feel it out, at least for game 1, right?
Yeah, definitely. Guzman thinking about it. Maybe he's taking a little bit of a break, you know. But the main squeeze, the Yang Ruby team pump, is what they will decide to go with here in order to make their way to grand finals to fight Sonokun.
And I don't know if Guzman and Sonokun have ever really played in bracket, have they?
They probably have, I feel like, but I don't remember seeing it either.
Yeah, I mean, surely they must, right? They both play the game a lot, or at least they've encountered each other online. Maybe Sonokun can cash us in on that and let us know. But, you know, Bumachunga, I have to imagine, does want that run back. Maybe try to change the tide, of course. Whoever does win this set coming up here is going to have to go through the loser side and have to get a reset in order to attempt to win the tournament. But Sonokun is sitting pretty nice here in grand final side.
Indeed. Bumachunga is ready to go whenever they are available. Just have to wait and see. It might be like, you know, just taking a bathroom break.
Yeah, you know, or mentally prepping yourself for the Guzman Gaming, of course. Or Guzman Gaming Glizzy Gate Gapper, as they're known in the Discord. Oh my gosh. Maybe Bumachunga's trying to get some glizzies here.
Maybe.
But, yeah, we're just kind of chatting out, see what things are happening here. Down top 3. Evo coming up in a couple weeks here, like 2-ish weeks. I'm sure a lot of players that we've seen online here hoping to attend. I know some familiar faces we'll see there, so that'll be fun. I'll be there. I'll be also repping the heart hoodie that you see on screen here. So if you just see me, don't be afraid to say hi. Take pictures, whatever you want. Always be good fun.
Yeah. Are you opening up applications for ACH this year?
You know, anything's possible, right? It depends on the mood, I guess, right? If I see some good heart play, if I see some back homing on the bursts and all that jazz, some 2Bs on bursts, I want to see Hakumen die from bursting. If I can see that, you got a contract.
All right, you know, the conditions have been set. If you want to join ACH, I don't know where the application form is. I think you just have to send Connor like a HD 4K image of Heartsmirk IRL, and then like maybe that'll maybe that'll convince him. Who knows?
Yeah, if you also get like a 5 foot by 5 foot Heartsmirk cutout too, you got a spot on the team too. So. Yeah, it looks like we're trying to sort out some, looks like maybe some connection stuff going on. Feeling some things out. But yeah, looks like oh, E30 is E30 polling right now in Uma. Oh no, okay, he's got his horse girl yapping, so.
All right, E30 update on the run. What's been going on?
We are currently in the URA finals for Marzensky. So about 3 races,
Hell
and
yes.
we should be able to. You know, if things go well, you know, we'll be able to get another dub on the board.
That'd be great. You know, I know we've been deep in thought about Goo Goo Babies all night, but Marcinski is of course number 2 in my opinion.
Understand.
Maybe she's the Gaga to Super Creek's Goo Goo or something.
All right. Due to some unfortunate connection issues between the two players, they have opted to play this out in an untraditional manner.
E30, get the wheel.
I'm already there, bro.
The wheel. I think Gusman does have a little bit in their favor, right? Of course, the BZ Buzzsaw does represent the wheel sometimes.
It's true. It's true. You know, I mean, Labrys does also have the JC, which is the wheel.
Sure. What color is the wheel? E30.
It's like an assortment of like red, blue.
Oh, we got all the glizzy condiments. It's so in favor of Guzman. Can we get like can we do like a chat thing, bet thing? Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah,
Can we
actually,
get a
just
bet
like
on the wheel?
Yeah, that's salty bets, right? We got to do this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Or maybe we can do the press 1, press 2 in the chat. I don't care, you know.
I do
7,
not
7,
control
7,
their-
7, 7.
Did someone say 7?
Oh no. Yeah, looks like some deliberation is going on between 2 players. Or do you just want me to go through the wheel?
We'll do the wheel. We'll do the wheel.
Okay. All right, here, you know, we're looking pretty good here, folks. Bobachaga versus Guzman gonna be going in with this wheel. Losers finals here. You know, Bobachaga and Guzman definitely have a equal shot of winning here in this scenario. 50-50 shots. I hope.
Yeah,
Nice.
but you know, blue Guzman's a little bit stronger than red Bumbochunga, I think. But you know, Bumbochunga does have the green option too.
Yeah, definitely going to be a very interesting matchup here. Guzman Gaming currently locked in with a blue color scheme in the IF server, so perhaps that is their lucky color, or maybe that could be in their downfall, so it all depends in what the wheel has to decide here for tonight. Personally, I'm placing my bets on, you know what, like, I see that, like, yellow-orange Guzman, like, a couple times. I'm voting on that one. I gotta vote for the underdog.
Yeah,
I set up predictions. I set up betting. No one does it.
Dude, this
All
happens
right,
all the time.
Every time. Every time. All right.
thanks for doing it for me. Appreciate it. All right, looks like.
I mean, of course.
Oh my gosh, did
Oh,
macaroni and cheese Guzman? Okay, so are we doing
Oh.
it per game?
Yeah, per game.
Oh hell yeah! All right, so Guzman, a clean game 1 here. Bumble
Yeah,
pretty close, but the macaroni and cheese is too strong.
Yeah, just like, you know, get the. That's what I believed in. That's what I'm putting all my bets in. And you know what? Oh, it's close. It's close. Oh no, not quite. Green Bumachunga going to be able to take it. You know, it's very rare to see Relish Axe Labrys win a game, but you know, here we are.
Got a couple more condiments here on screen, tying it up 1 apiece. Up next, looks like game 3 is going to be going to Red Ketchup Axe Bumbochunga. Bumbochunga taking the advantage 2-1 right now.
Yeah, you know, like, very excellent call there. Was able to get the hot dog special against Guzman. Gonna be putting all that ketchup. And it's looking very close here in this game 4 here, but Guzman able to slide it out here as we are moving on to game 5, the blue Guzman condiments. I don't know what type of blue condiments you're going at your hot dog stand for, but I don't want to know. Maybe it's where they put the onions. I don't know. But yeah, going on to the game 5. This is so close here. Mustard, Guzman, slightly edged out. Relish Momochunga, though, trying to make the comeback. But the blue Guzman Gaming 1 going to be sealing the deal here, as they will be winning this set 5-2 against Bumachunga in what was definitely a close game.
It was real back and forth there. Guzman from the brink able to maintain that composure under a 2-1 deficit. Maybe we'll be moving on. Gonna be fighting Sonic-kun. You know, we were talking about it. I don't know if we've ever seen these two players play, so I guess we get to see them now. Sonic-kun queuing up here has the blue S versus the blue Guzman. I don't know. Maybe it's fate.
Yeah, just blue on blue violence.
Yeah, I guess what kind of blue? I don't know. Maybe it's the drink, right? You get blue Kool-Aid with your Blizzy.
Yeah. Actually, I think Costco, they're a PepsiCo branded company. So that it's just the Pepsil.
It's meant to be, right? You get the drink with the hot dog. Gonna have to have it.
Exactly.
But yeah, Sonic-kun, of course, strong contender with the Heart S, multiple time WNF winner. Guzman, I don't know for online if they've taken WNF, but I know in the past offline, I believe they've taken a couple tournaments too. So, whole new game, whole new world, right? It's 2025. Things are different here. Sometimes you got to fight weird characters. Sometimes you got to fight weird connections. But if anyone can do it, Guzman can. In the loser side, no less.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take 6 games off Sonic-kun in order to take the bracket, but Sonic-kun looking excellently all night, so this is going to be quite the hurdle to have to jump through in order to get victory here, but a little bit of a delay in terms of the game, but it looks like we will be wrapping up here soon for WNF BBTAG Online Edition PC Tag, and yeah, they are ready to get going whenever.
Locking it in, Guzman believing in the main team, of course, has the Yang Ruby. Of course, Ruby really strong into Heart, right? We've seen those jump buttons be really strong, challenging the left-right mix as well, too. But, Heart back homing at the right positioning is able to punish a lot of attempts. So it's kind of on Guzman to understand how to play that matchup. Is it playing in the air more efficient or trying to go for a grounded base approach against the S? And Yang, of course, able to control space really well with the Firecracker.
Let's see how it is. Gonna be moving away here. Guzman gonna be starting off with the aggression and gets the overhead check, but not the burst bait here, as the S will be coming in. A nice breezy buzzsaw as well, going to be bringing S back into the corner. Guzman looking great right here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Buzzsaw does do some pretty hard scaling, but a missed DP is going to be really critical here for Guzman. Going to be cashing a lot of damage here. Has the option to go for cross combo. Is going to spend it. Not going to be enough to get 4 meter, but cashing out the meter anyways.
Yeah, nice chunk of damage on the S, putting her in that one-touch zone. Got to be careful about what you do next. And a raw tag is actually going to take it. Another overhead check to... And this is looking quite bad here for Sonic-kun, but a potential happy birthday. Fortunately not stabilized for Guzman, but this is looking like Sonic-kun's going to return back the momentum. Yeah, kills off the Yang.
Good routing there into the cross rate too. Didn't need to spend the additional meter there to get the kill, but Guzman still pretty healthy with this Ruby, but unfortunately just get clipped low. S's normal's ambiguously big, and despite their slower speed, able to find the hit.
Sets up the Heart. Safe jump there. Safe get out as well. Forcing Resonance out from Guzman here, but gets crossed up a little bit, but no full stabilization into a kill. Guzman just wants his Heart off him. All this Resonance is running out. Not going to be super effective, but a failed 5C attempt going to be paying off here for Guzman, as he's putting both characters in one touch.
Good routing to just go straight into super, recognizing Resonance is almost over. Burst is an option, gonna find the throw, and again, another super, but not quite enough to get the kill. Gotta worry about JC, hits the low, into the DP this time though.
Ooh, nice jump over the overhead and a 4P in order to punish. Builds up that 4th bar. Probably doesn't even need it, but you know what? Keep it all basic and simple. Sonic-kun going to be taking the first game. Very hard fought, though.
You know, Sonic-kun going for the scary stuff. You know, I know when you get the hit, you just cash out super into super, but they believe in the character. They've made it this far in a really dominant fashion, too. I think Sonic-kun has only dropped one game this whole tournament so far to their round 1 Night Hunter, who unfortunately we did not get to see tonight. But, you know, Guzman looking to change that fate a little bit, maybe get a couple games on the board, maybe even reset the bracket and go all the way.
Those indeed, but what I could see from that first game is that this is not going to be a easy sweep here for Sonic-kun. Like, hopefully Guzman's able to kind of stabilize some more things here in this game too. And you know what? Starting off pretty strong.
IB turns out pretty good move. That armor, oh no, and eating up the burst point too. Big damage here for Guzman. Has cross combo available. Probably gonna set up for a sandwich to get a kill. Definitely scary since you can't burst out here yet.
Right, yeah, very excellent reaction there to the push block. Able to get that TRM and probably just going to be killing off the S. Yeah, you're gonna be going straight down solo level 1 Resonance Heart. This is gonna be a rough comeback to have to make.
But, you know, Sonic-kun's been shown to do really well with Heart, but with DP, super unfortunate. Guzman really on point for all this pressure.
Another DP out, but not quite able to punish it. That DP does have quite low landing lag, but can't keep it all DP and burst safe here as Guzman going to be firing at this Heart here, potentially threatening a kill, but not quite.
Yeah, Heart on normal, average health character, but trying to use this homing to escape a lot of this pressure. Has Resonance available, just trying to spend this meter, make something happen, but Guzman, good utilization of their meter to escape. Has level 4 Resonance, even if they lose his character, but right now, Guzman's still very much in the lead.
Yeah. Ooh, just gets hit by the immediate Heart punch, but tries to hard bait a burst, but no dice, and that looking like a swift kill after the semblance pop, as Guzman will be taking game 2.
Made it up, you know, second loss here for Sonic-kun, but, you know, of course, is just trying to pin down the playstyle for their players. Maybe they don't play too often and just need to make the adjustment. Of course, Ruby and Yang, both strong characters in their own right, but with a team like Heart, you got to really know how to fight against your opponent's strengths and punish appropriately with the back homing and placing your buttons.
Yeah. And like kind of one of the thankful like points of weakness I think for Sonic-kun's team is that the defensive options, at least like the unmetered ones, aren't necessarily the best. They are notoriously kind of unreliable, even though Heart's DP does have a lot of, or doesn't have a lot of landing recovery. It kind of doesn't go that high and kind of covers a little bit of an awkward angle, so it is avoidable. And SDP, one being one of the most notorious DPs in the game in terms of it whiffing. Yeah, Sonic-kun's got to be careful of what he has in the defensive options, and kind of what snowballed.
Perfect health. Always critical.
Alright, nice jumping over the command grab here. Gets the anti-air hit on the Heart as well. It's going to be a nice chunk of damage, but unfortunately dropped a little bit of confirmed there. Good techs available here, but Sonic-kun kind of stuck in the corner, able to inch their way out and get out the S.
Yep, kind of burning gold right through that projectile. Good DP, Heart in life support right now, but Sonic-kun, again, able to find that low after super critical and maintaining his pressure, but a DP to escape.
Wakes up with the super there, actually subs to the Yang, so she won't be pumping Semblance just yet, and both those characters are looking very low. Good air-to-air, but no full confirm. Sonic-kun definitely trying to just get the one hit that he needs in order to seal the deal out, but Guzman getting into the own. That should be an air blockable DP, but no full confirm. And that's going to be a kill on the Ruby there, just left just in time, and the 2A check going to be sealing the game for Sonic-kun 2-1.
We've seen Sonic-kun go for it a couple times, and it's really working out in their favor. You know, SS runs pretty quick, so you can't quite armor through a lot of those options. It's a big hitting low too. Even has options to like use 2C in case they're a little bit farther away. But Sonic-kun one game away from taking the whole tournament.
Indeed, and it's
Get ready.
been so close every game so far. So it's like, as long as Guzman's able to get into like his offensive swing of things, it's like it looks really bad for Sonic-kun. But just like the part in the neutral, I think Guzman's been a little uncomfortable with having to deal with the hard homing, and that's kind of what's been able to kind of inch out games, I think, for
Well, Ruby,
Sonic-kun
you having
ultimately.
fun yet? Can't escape from crossing fate.
And into it, game 4 here. Trying to start off this pressure a little bit more safely. You know, up backing always safe to do, especially against a team like Hard, where not a lot of big buttons available. And just going to the zoning, I like that idea. You have the option to use metered back rolling to escape any sort of like forward advancing moves like burning gold, but it does carry that risk.
Sets up the sandwich scenario and a great jump out to avoid it completely here. Guzman going to be starting some of their offense of their own, but gets DP'd for their troubles and gets hit by the overhead. A great confirm to Sonic-kun looking to take this game so far.
A lot of pressure here, but Sonic-kun just backing off, saying, okay, it's on you to make this approach, but Ruby able to tag out safely, meaning that her health's going to come back and has plenty of red life to get back to tie things up.
Sets up the sandwich scenario where they're just with the shark. Excellent defense so far. Just able to get out the situation completely. However, how slow tempo this has been so far. A lot of Ruby's health has been regained, and that 4P coming in very much clutch for Guzman.
Going for the DHC2 just to cash out that additional damage. Could be a matter of 1 or 2 hits. Does find the hit. Another hit, but the burst able to just barely hit the Ruby. Sonic-kun trying to make something happen here, but Buzzsaw is always scared to deal with.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate heart interaction there, yeah. I do believe it loses the hitbox as soon as it makes contact with something, so Ruby was able to save the day. The raw 5C, I don't think that's what they wanted, but you know what? We take those there, especially considering how low that S could have been if there was a punish. Playing both patiently and neutral, just trying to force an approach on either side. That S is looking quite low, but survives.
Good bait on the push block there just to make sure S survives, but finding that hit. We are burning right now for Yang. Able to find the jump, but not quite enough to be able to find the punish on the burst.
And we are going to Rampage time, which I think is very much beneficial for Sonic-kun's side. Has a lot of ways just to meter dump here with the S to jump out of the situation as well. This is looking quite close. Can go either way so far, but a happy birthday DP going to be putting him quite a bit of damage on both of Guzman's characters.
Stare down there too, recognizing that the high hasn't been working, so Sonic-kun just trying to bait a DP or something. Finds the punish on the burst. Guzman on life support, has level 4 resonance to make things work though.
Just playing it very patiently. It baits out the DP at the cost of S's life, but it does not matter to them as they will be taking the tournament set 3-1 in here in this grand finals, winning the entire tournament.
Yeah, congrats to Sonic-kun again. It really showing the strength of their team and the mastery of it. But no such thing, Guzman too, able to get the game off Sonic-kun. You know, one of the 2 losses Sonic-kun suffered tonight. But of course, you know, Bumba getting the 3rd place as well in a 2-3 close fashion in losers finals.
Yes, definitely so one for everyone that showed up tonight. To remind everyone, the top 3, you know, Guzman in 2nd place, Sonic-kun in 1st, and Bomachunga in 3rd. A little bit of an awkward order there, but nonetheless, a great tournament here for everybody. Big shout-outs, as always, to RTO Master Cheap for holding it down on the bracket side of things, as well as E30 and E30 for the streaming side of things. Couldn't do this without them. Big shout-outs to my fellow co-commentator, Dave,